Hello, Internet. It's Em, and I play Nepentha in Blackwater D&D. Thank you for tuning in for a very special episode of Blackwater D&D, our one and only audio episode up to this point. We're calling this Session 0, but really, it's just the episode that happened before we started streaming. It was our very first game that we played online over a Zoom chat, and we had so much fun with it that we decided to start putting it online a couple days later. You can literally hear us talk about it in the middle of it. The audio is going to be a bit scratchy. There are going to be some natural pauses, and you'll hear a cat in the background, and some of the microphones tend to get a little twangy every now and again, but we really wanted to share this with you, so it's been edited and trimmed, and here we are presenting it to you. We hope you enjoy it, and it sheds a little bit more light on what was going on with you'll just see what happens. Okay, so I hope you all enjoy, and here is episode 0, A Sister's Sacrifice.
Guys, we could legitimately stream.
I mean, we could be streaming in like 3 minutes right now if we wanted to.
I feel like streaming the first time we do
Yeah, no, we shouldn't do
camera stuff. Let's get the rookie moves out of the way. Let's all find the perfect picture of Tim for our background, get our aesthetic figured out, and then we move from there. Wait, did Zoom just support our Twitch stream, or was that one of you?
Zoom sponsors us now.
Got our first sponsor.
Thanks, Zoom Daddy.
Zoom Daddy.
Sean, every time you grab your water bottle, it seems like it just comes out of thin air.
I'm a wizard, bro.
Wizard.
I love that effect. It's my favorite.
It's very cool.
Oh.
Also, real talk, do we
Too
want to
close.
play on Tuesday?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Sean?
Yes,
Dope.
provided that's enough time for you, Tim.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Tim suggested it, so
Like, what else are we going to do anyway?
I don't know. I love you all so much. This is the best. I'm so
Oh.
happy. So, I have my notebook. I have my spells. This is good.
All right. Oh, yeah, we're just waiting for Adam to set up his. Yeah, I guess I can do kind of the recap of last week, and then we can jump into it while he's setting it up. So, last we left off, you had made your way down through the undergrove into the tomb of the Raven Queen. You passed through a series of chambers, making your way first through a staircase you found in the eye of the massive stone marble face of the queen. You went through the eye to the stairwell, where you found a number of shelves with skulls lining from top to floor on shelves, leading all the way down, and you traveled down this staircase after some time, realizing that you needed to travel in the dark to progress. And as you did, the skull started to follow you, and finally, with the help of your hero's feast, kind of pushing back the fear, you were able to make it to the bottom, to the next chamber, where a lightning bolt was almost suspended in the center, and Callie bravely walked in and was able to deflect the lightning bolt to another rod somewhere hidden in the room that she had spotted, causing the floor to shift. So you went down from the storm chamber. The floor kind of shifted into a long, like spiral staircase down the edge that led to a large pool of water down below. And through that, you dove down, and through the silty water as you entered, it began to churn as a storm would. And you made your way down to the bottom, Callie drowned in the process as you all kind of fought your way down, finding a number of skeletons trying to hold you in place as you kind of searched around the murky depths. You were able to find 5 pillars. No, four pillars. Four pillars. That you were able to shift, essentially draining the water out, and leading down to the next chamber. And from there, you found a very long hallway with what appeared to be some kind of golem in the center. And after throwing a stone into the chamber, the golem revealed itself as the roof began to collapse down towards the floor. You made your way across throughout this room, this long hallway, narrowly avoiding being crushed. Spooky almost being crushed in the center. Behind the golem, there was a large set of gears, but Kokanee managed to save Spooky kind of in the nick of time, and you all were able to get out by the skin of your teeth. Beyond that, you found a simple room dedicated to Avandra with a stone table where you had to engage in a gamble of sorts, which after some trial and error, you managed to successfully bet the right way, and the odds were in your favor, and you were transported to another you went through there was another door that led to a somewhat different chamber that you find yourself in now. This almost seems to be, it feels like outside, the sky is filled with stars. You can see up ahead through the kind of soft grass, a stone kind of rock natural creek that leads into a small pool of water, flanked by 2 stone columns, as well, one with a harp resting upon it. And you find yourself in this kind of moonlit glade. And that's where we left off. So as you all walk in, the chamber, the doorway seems to sort of fade away, and is not kind of visible. You see kind of around you at the edges of this glade, there appears to be forest, and you can hear the kind of soft hum of insects, and there's the occasional firefly that kind of zooms by. What would you like to do?
The doorway behind us fades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you all step in.
There's the harp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone good with instruments? Can
No.
anyone
Callie?
play?
Can
I can
Callie pick
sing.
up the harp?
Mm-hmm. Hey, you pick up the harp. It's not a full-size harp. It's sort of like a mid-sized harp, so it's fairly hefty, but you're able to hold it. You can see as you pick it up on the edges there is words kind of carved into the like fine rosewood. What language do you speak?
I speak Celestial and High Tongue, Common, and I always forget the one on my hand from the tattoo.
Orin. Yeah, Primordial. You do not recognize the words, but it does appear to have a phrase written on it.
Does anybody here speak Sylvan? Because it has a very like Feywild vibe.
Figure it out if you give me about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like there's any really time pressing.
Yeah. I'd ritual cast comprehend languages.
Okay, so you take some time, and you see the words kind of reveal themselves as you recognize the script as Sylvan, and it says, "Corellin, by your grace, let our art shape the world."
By our art. By your grace, let our art shape the world.
Mm-hmm.
Corellin is the god of music and beauty and art. I would imagine that
with that, he might wish us to make art of some kind.
And what we sing about will happen?
Oh,
May I throw something out there?
Please.
So I'm looking at these two pillars. You know, we need to move on to the next godly area. This might be a stretch, but what, you know, we create, it shapes the world. We need a bridge to where we're going next. Maybe we need to write a song with a really good bridge. Like, if we write a...
Look at Tim's face. Everyone look at Tim's face right now. He just made a face. He went...
Write a bridge. Maybe we go bridge to where we're going.
or perhaps on that stamped letters, perhaps we have to write a song or sing a song about a door.
With a bridge.
With a bridge.
Verse, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus. At least one of those choruses can be about a door. Another one could be about a portal. One should have a really catchy hook.
Then we might end up with a hook, and I don't think we want that.
Or perhaps we have to sing about which room we wish to go to next. Which god's room we wish to go to next.
Take me home,
Country
roads.
A folk song back in the almond cave?
No. I mean, it might be from the call, but not from where I'm from.
It's something I
Imagine.
picked up just scavenging, you know?
It's
And Neppy, with your passive perception of what, 19?
Yes.
And
And
Finn's
Finn's is 24 also.
24. You notice as Kokanee begins to sing, something slightly changes about the water. It's difficult to tell. Like you just kind of you see that there, like just out of the corner of your eye, you see something about the water seems to change. It's difficult to tell what it was though.
Is there a country road in it?
Well, I know many songs and prayers, and I know, Finn, and you said you sing?
I can sing fairly well enough.
Perhaps we all, or one of us, sings a song, something, but let our art shape the world. I'm guessing it has to be quite directive.
Would Callie know any songs from what's
The Labyrinth of Glass?
Yes, I forgot the word labyrinth.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, from your home you would know. Make a history check.
First dice roll of the night, guys.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
My demon cat isn't here to attack my hands.
Mish.
I locked him out.
Oh.
Oh, that is sorry, I have to find my character sheet. I have it here. History?
Yeah, history check.
But I got a 19
Oh, I
plus
saw it.
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you remember a number of kind of simple, some lullabies from when you were a child, and some kind of the native folk songs that you remember.
History's +1, Callie.
So 20.
Yeah, so you do remember a handful of songs.
Okay.
Just simple, almost like folk songs.
Okay. I know some folk songs from my home, but I don't know if that's what we want right now.
Well, I know some folk songs from the Scar, but like, will any song do?
Like a bridge over troubled water.
Yeah, you see you kind of catch it again, that like something about the water changes, but you're not.
Finn and Neppy moves closer to the water. Finn, keep singing, please.
I will lay you down like a bridge over troubled water.
So you see as he sings, the water, which is quite reflective of the night sky, starts to shift a bit, and you can see the reflection kind of dim, and you can see the water becomes clearer as you can see through it, and more transparent. You can see down farther into the water. Make a perception check.
All right. Oh, natural 18 +9 is 27.
You can see kind of at the edge of your dark vision, because it's just sort of dimly lit in this place. But you can see what looks like the outline of maybe a hatch or something at the bottom of the pool.
Oh, Neppy, just is the pool wide enough for us to like climb in and go down?
Yeah, it's about 10 by 10. It's like a small, almost like a pond-like pool, and it's being fed by a little stream in the rock formation, kind of on the far side of it.
Neppy's going to kneel down to the water, and she's just gonna. I'm gonna cast a resistance on myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick my hands in the water.
Okay.
Does anything bad happen?
Yep.
What?
You.
No saving throw? Do I just take damage?
Nope. You just. It'll be less. You feel your hands. You kind of watch them as like the water kind of runs down. You see kind of on the back, your fingers start to kind of wrinkle a bit more. You're able to kind of shake it off, but you have aged 2 years.
I'm not going in that fucking water. God.
Does Neppy know that?
You feel yourself kind of, it's slight, but you kind of notice some of the like wrinkles in your hands get a little bit deeper. And
Move, Neppy, I'm going for a swim.
Neppy hasn't told any of you this yet. So
I'm
you can all
kidding. I'm saying Neppy. He's young. He wants to age.
Jesus
Neppy,
fucking Christ.
Neppy thinks for a moment. She stands up and she turns around and her eyes like fall on letters.
He's not got that many years.
Well, the hatch, the way out, I believe, is at the bottom of the water. But as I put my hands in, I think I've aged 2 years or so. Older.
Oh.
So that would make me 32-ish now, maybe 33.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Is that how that works?
Yep.
Happy birthday, Neppy.
I don't really know my birthday, but thank you. And I'm worried because of the vision we saw of the boat behind us. Letters was old. Letters had aged and he was very old.
Well, this is two things I don't like. Water and aging. Now that boat, nonsense, ponsens, we don't have to pay attention to that. There is clearly a way to get through this.
Yes.
Unless it was expressly made just for immortals, you know, gods and stuff who don't have to worry about aging.
Maybe we need to keep singing.
Well, did Neppy touch the water when Finnan was singing?
She stuck her hands in after. he was
After.
dead, right?
Yeah, it was after.
Hey, Clack, come here.
Yeah, what's up?
We're not going to make you go in the water, but
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
the ravages of time affect you less than the rest of us.
I mean, how do you know that? I mean, it's true. But I don't know how time works here.
That's a good
Like,
point.
it's different in this car. But
You're
sure.
not wrong. You should.
Can I try something?
Yeah, go crazy.
Neppy, can you stand by the water? Don't touch it.
Of course.
And just follow along with what I'm saying.
In common or in...
I'm just going to be saying it in common, but follow along with gestures. Just do as I say. Like, so, did you ever play the game Simon Says?
No. But I'm a quick learner.
Yeah, you can catch on.
Of course.
Nepentha raised her hands. She split them apart, and the water parted wide. Anything?
You see the pool does shift slightly.
And she lifted her hands a little more.
And she
made
lifted her hands a little more.
And she
Everybody.
really gestured heavily, and
And
the
she
water
really
fully
gestured
moved
heavily,
away,
and the water fully
hatch was
moved
clear
away,
to go
and the hatch was clear
to.
to
Starts to
go.
move a little more.
Everybody
get in there.
sang.
Everybody
moved her hands. The water split.
I'll have a group performance check. So everybody roll a performance check.
Oh, guys,
Also,
I don't even
Neppy,
have my
I will
dice.
say, Neppy starts like jingling her like the jewelry on her dress and just starts kind of like moving to like. There's a lot of like kind of twist movements to it. Yeah.
I got a natural 1.
17.
Okay.
Skills, there she is.
Do I get to
Oh,
add
not
my
bad.
modifier to that? Because I know Callie's good at performing.
Your
is it just
performance modifiers +3, hun.
Oh, fuck. What's the one where I'm good? No, that's sad. So 4.
16.
22, Tim.
19 plus 0.
And I will say, Adam, you have advantage on this because you were singing beautifully. It's just
That is an 18 plus either 9 or 5, but I am finding it.
okay.
So they're 23 or 27.
That is enough. As you all begin to sort of perform around this pool, you can see the water starts to kind of split to the side, and there is kind of a clear gap it's just about 5 feet wide. As the water is kind of pulled out to the sides, there is a straight drop about 50 feet.
Ouch.
Neppy would keep dancing and singing
Yeah.
about keeping the waters parted.
The water stayed apart until the party left.
I do little jiggy, taking out a rope and tying it off on one of the pillars, and I'm like, I love my rope. It's so great. Gonna get me down the lake. Gonna go
Don't
first.
confuse the song, you might fuck things up a little.
Not follow his lead. And
That rope is really great, but the water is staying parted.
And
As
I go.
Yeah, as he continues to sing and the water stays apart as you shuffle down. You get down to the bottom. Are you all going down or just letters?
I'll continue singing until we get to the bottom, or until we get through the hatch.
Okay, so now that you're all at the
Me
bottom,
too.
I will have you all make another performance check.
Am I still at advantage?
Yeah.
21.
21?
21.
17.
That's a 12.
12.
16.
16, okay.
Just 6.
16.
Okay. Yep, you managed to keep it going. You can feel the water start to kind of push in a little bit as you get to the bottom, though, as you do kind of feel the water closing in as it is. Not only are you all of you are down there or heading down, so it's quite tight. But you can tell that the performance is sort of waning a little bit, so the water is kind of starting to move back in. But you are down at the bottom at the hatch.
I go for the hatch.
Okay. You go to pull it open, and it's locked.
The party found that, in fact, the hatch was not locked at all on second try, but the water stayed away.
Okay. Adam, I'll have you make a performance check.
All of us? Because we're all still singing. It's just for the purpose of this.
flat.
Yeah, then everyone.
performance?
It'll be at advantage still. So yeah, one more performance check.
22.
Okay.
14.
Rolling very well. 21.
21.
2.
Okay, 15.
9.
9. Okay. So as you're seeing this, the hatch does open, but you feel the water start to push in. Letters, you were right there. So you see just kind of it is another shaft as you kind of jump down. You can feel the water press in. I'll need. It will probably be Callie because she is the largest out of the three of you that are in there. Is Neppy down there too?
Everyone's done it.
Everyone's down there, yeah.
yeah, Callie, you can feel the water kind of brush up against your shoulders as everyone is heading down into this chute. And you can see the chute below is kind of slightly angled, like smooth stone, almost like a slide, as you start to kind of plummet. But you feel the water kind of touch you. You've aged 2 years as well.
Okay.
I have rolled low. As you all climb into the hatch. Finn, you're down there as well, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you all slide down, and you begin to slide down this kind of narrow stone passageway. As you slide through, Finnan, you can hear the hatch kind of like the water sort of as the hatch gets pushed closed. As you all slide down, you're picking up a bit of speed as it's going quicker and quicker. So you begin to slide down this chute of smooth stone, and it's like fairly tight. It's probably only about 4 feet by 5 feet as you're kind of all kind of sliding down ladders here quite a bit farther ahead, but the stone as you travel, picking up a bit of speed, it's kind of at a slight decline, but it is getting steeper. And you notice that the stone is getting warmer and warmer as you go farther down. And after what feels like 10, 15 seconds go by, you've traveled about 100 feet as the the chute begins to arc and shift straight down into a vertical drop for about 30 feet. As you can kind of the stone is quite warm. It's not blistering hot or anything, but it is quite warm as you begin to fall.
As soon as I start falling, I'm just going to cast Fly on myself.
Okay. So you kind of suspend for a second.
And I will hug to the wall so as not to get hit by the 6 people coming in behind me.
As they, unfortunately, Clack is kind of like grabs onto you.
That's appropriate.
If he makes his strength check. Yep, he does. So he kind of grabs onto you. I'm just holding onto your leg. But Kokanee is right behind you. And the chute is not big enough for all 3 of you. So he is going to slam into you if we don't start flying downwards.
I'll I want to because I can go down. Well, I can't fly down as fast as gravity can take him. So I guess we'll all
cushion.
Yeah.
Oh, make a strength check.
Okay, I'm good at those. 10.
Okay. So you try to brace yourself. You do help somewhat, but as Kokanee slams into you, you begin to kind of slide down. And you each take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you all land on the stone floor.
Ooh.
Underneath, followed in quick succession.
Is Hero's Feast still up?
Yep.
Okay.
Much damage?
Callie. Yeah, you know what? You'll actually take. Sorry. You all take an additional 6 damage as Callie lands on you.
What, can I fucking scootle out of there?
Now you can make a dexterity saving throw.
Do I have time as I'm falling? Do I have time to put out my wings?
You could try, but there isn't enough space.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You kind of know that there isn't much clearance here.
I'll crush my friends. It's okay. We'll do it.
You'll just jam up your wings.
For Dex? Oh, I thought I upped my
Wait, I'll
Dex.
make dexterity throws?
Oh, Dex save. 18.
Yeah, you managed to roll out of the way. As Neppy comes down the chute, does anyone else want to try to roll out of the way?
Yes, please.
Okay, Spooky, you can try to roll. Same with Kokanee.
I'm gonna try and when I see them, I'm gonna try and do everything in my power to not land on them.
You're falling basically straight down.
Great.
You take 9 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall.
12.
Okay.
15.
Okay.
Can I try to skid to how wide is this tunnel?
It's like maybe 5 feet by 4 feet.
Can I put my hands up to try to like slow my
You can
fall?
try to slow your fall. Spooky, you managed to roll out of the way. Kokanee, you as you're rolling, you get clipped in the head by Neppy's boot. You take 1 point of bludgeoning damage. Callie, are you trying to roll out of the way, or are you just staying put?
I'll stay put.
Okay.
I'm gonna crush you. I'm sorry.
You only take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as Neppy lands right on top of you. And Finn,
Sorry.
make a strength check.
Careful, Neppy.
Sorry, darling.
It's all right.
Yana is looking worse again.
That's a 17.
You managed to slow your descent somewhat. You still take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Sick.
But you're able to kind of more gracefully land without landing on top of Callie and Neppy. You find yourself.
Just before we take a look around the room, Yana, are you all right? Here, let me help a bit. I'm going to cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on Yana.
But as you're doing this, you feel a blast of warm air kind of roll through the chamber. As you can see on the far side of what is about 20 feet wide, 30 feet long, or no, 30 feet wide. No, sorry, 30 feet long, 20 feet wide. On the right-hand side, you now notice that the floor is kind of gravel, like this sort of black, almost like charcoal. As you can see on the right-hand side where the warm blast of air comes from, there's kind of a small pipe that looks to be kind of in the wall, set in the wall. And you can see as you do that, as that warm air comes across, you see kind of like a flash of embers and sparks shoot up into kind of a low flame, as like that part of the chamber near the pipe seems to glow kind of red hot. And you can see now that you have a better look, it is quite illuminated. You can see in front of you there is the whole chamber is kind of a dark blackish stone. It looks kind of worn, and at the far end of the chamber, 30 feet ahead of you, you can see there's kind of a greenish black metal grate that's about 3 feet by 4 feet, so 3 feet wide and 4 feet long, and about an inch thick bars kind of crisscross in pattern. You also notice in the corners of the room there are 2 lengths of chain just kind of dangling from each corner, and either corner has large hooks attached to them, kind of these large, like they look like maybe steel or silver. It's hard to tell from this side, but they kind of are dangling in the corner, and they look to be about, the hooks themselves are probably about a foot long. They're pretty hefty.
The room is hot?
It's pretty warm. Oh.
Well, in any case, I'm going to reach over and cast Cure Wounds at 3rd level on Yana.
Thank you.
That's going to be, that's good. 6, 11, 15 points of healing, my dear.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, if that was Corellin, do you need me to make a religion check to see if I can figure out who this is?
Sure.
I have an idea, but we probably should see if Neppy can put it together. Ooh, we love a religion check. That's going to be a 21. I think it's Moradin.
You're assuming, you're not 100% sure as you don't know much beyond the room that you're in, but like with the warmth and you kind of notice that like the stone is not necessarily dark stone, but it's covered in kind of a soot.
Yeah, like
you
a
get a
forge.
sense. Mm-hmm. So you get a sense it's like Moradin.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, if this is Moradin, then there will likely be something to do with forging, creating something or traversing. Create my sense is forging. Moradin is the god of the forge. He's the dwarven god also.
I got the fly for about another 9 minutes if you want me to scout around without touching the floor. If everybody sounds like that's a good idea.
You're standing on coals as well. You can tell like the whole chamber is filled with coals.
I see room.
There's another kind of warm blast kind of. You see the sparks.
Does that feel like the breath of a big creature by any chance?
You're not entirely sure. It just feels like warm air. It's kind of it doesn't really have a. It kind of smells similar to the chamber's got kind of a stale air.
Could I float Mission Impossible style around the room gingerly and try to investigate for anything that doesn't immediately jump out, things that are not immediately obvious? Wonderful.
Make an investigation check.
Here I go.
Can I listen for things, Tim? Can I just take a moment and like really try and listen for some stuff?
Make a perception check.
15 for the kid.
15. You kind of fly around the room. You notice a couple things. You notice that the chains seem to go farther into the wall. They're not just sort of attached to the corner. It seems like they do go farther into the wall. And you notice as you kind of fly by the grate, you can see the room beyond. You can see there is a... actually, I'm so sorry. As you came down, your fly dropped. You are no longer flying, and you are. I'll let you peel back the cure wounds because your would also not go off, but you would have noticed that his fly dropped before that.
Oh, so I can't have cast cure wounds on Yana. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Gonna try a real quick control fire. Do a little cantrip action.
Nothing seems to happen.
Okay. That we know. Okay.
We have magic in here.
I would say if this is Marden, we need to make something, not using magic.
It will be. Is there anything in like Moradin's history about him being anti-magic?
With your 21, not that you can remember, nothing sort of jumps out at you.
Okay.
What was your perception check for your listening?
19.
19. You can hear what sounds like kind of creaking of metal, sort of as and then shortly after that, there's kind of the burst of warm air.
Like a bellows.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna drag my foot through the coals. Is it just like coals on coals on coals, or?
Seems like there's a pretty thick layer of coals.
Yeah, I go like 6 or 8 inches and just sort of like try to dig a little hole.
Yeah, you feel like there may, as you kind of prod around, there may be a stone floor beneath, but there's quite a bit of coal.
Shall we press on a bit further? See where we have to go?
Yeah.
Just in the entry chamber at this point. Our magic will be no good in here.
Yeah, let's have a look around.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll walk up with letters this time.
I'll follow in close behind.
So you set out towards the grate, and you can see as you kind of all move forward, you can feel the side of the chamber where the coals are is quite a bit warmer, and it almost to the point where it's uncomfortable. And you can see through the grate there is a large anvil and a simple set of smith's tools, and a table on the left-hand side that looks to have a number of some kind of metal rod. Each look about maybe 2 feet long and about half an inch thick. And there appears to be a large stone trough full of water.
Forging.
On the other side of the grate.
Yeah, this is all on the other side of the grate.
So there's a grate separating us from the forge tools.
Yeah.
And we got these hooks attached to chains that go further into the wall, yes?
Mm-hmm. There's one on the right hand, like, back corner, and one on the left hand back corner. They're on the, not on the back wall, but on the side walls.
Does someone strong want to pull one of those chains and see what happens?
Ooh, that might set the place on fire or something bad. I feel like we shouldn't just, every time we touch things, just because we almost get crushed or, we get aged.
Okay. I'd like to investigate the grate for 2 things. The first one to see if it's locked in any variety, and the second to see if it moves, like if it's moved in the past.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Can I?
I need to cast guidance on myself.
Can I help him look?
Does the guidance work?
Oh, no, it does not work.
No.
Yeah, you do
No,
not
it
get
doesn't.
guidance.
Can I help him look?
Sorry. If my cure wounds didn't work, neither does your guidance.
No, 12.
It doesn't appear to have like a. It's not like a gate. It does look almost like a some kind of grate. It does look like it goes into the stone. It doesn't seem like it's like almost like a portcullis. It looks like that.
Like it looks like it's bolted in.
Not on the bottom. No, it looks like you can tell that the grate continues into the stone above. And you get the sense that it goes a little bit into the stone below as well. But as you try to kind of move it, it does not seem to budge at all.
Can Callie try to investigate the hooks coming out of the wall?
Can I see?
You cannot see.
Yeah, I don't think so.
You are blind.
Okay.
And then this is where our training that we did will come in handy.
Investigation, Tim. That's a 12. I have a clearer picture.
Oh, nice. I have it here just in case you need anything.
Yeah, they seem like simple kind of iron chains. You can see that they do go into the wall. Like they seem to continue on into the wall. You're not sure beyond that. The hooks themselves look like they are, in fact, some kind of steel, hardened steel. But beyond that, you don't really discern anything else.
Can I look for if there are any place where those hooks have been dug in before, or if somebody else would rather look for that?
I can look.
Place where these. I'm not good at investigating things.
I'm gonna stay standing at the grate.
Let's do a wizard watch. Wizard watch for hook marks.
As you say that, another blast of kind of warm air rumbles through the chamber. I need all of you to make Constitution saving throws.
Oh shit!
As you can see now,
Who is close to Callie?
No one. I don't think, because I walked
No
on the
one?
chains.
Okay.
it doesn't make a difference.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah.
Do I not get it either then?
Mm-mm.
Good rolls though. Good rolls.
Me too. Natural 20.
Natural 20.
19.
19.
Nice.
Not one.
I got a 2 with a +2, so a 4.
Okay.
21.
Okay. So Callie and Spooky, Callie, you're kind of over on that side, and Spooky, as you're trying to help Kokanee, you realize your back is kind of towards that side. As the wave of heat kind of emanates through the chamber, you both take 5 points of fire damage.
Where's the heat coming from?
You can tell that the air is kind of like the coals on that side are now glowing quite a bit brighter than they were before. On which side? On the right hand side of the chamber. Like you fell down the middle. It's on the right hand side, and the front directly ahead of you is where the grate is. The left hand side doesn't have anything save for the chains in the corner.
So it looks like it came down the grate?
The heat?
Yeah.
No. It came from the coals on the right hand side.
Oh, okay.
Like from there's a pipe in the wall that the air is coming through.
I feel like we might be in some kind of crucible. and where that's a big old bellows pushing air to make fire. So now might be the time to start trying stuff.
Yes.
Real quick, let's see where those hooks go. Right, Yana?
What
Wizard
happens?
Watch.
What happens with the? Did we fail the Constitution
18.
saving throw?
You two did, yeah. So you took damage.
Oh, sorry, I missed that. How much damage did we take?
5 points of fire damage.
17 for me.
17.
18 for
18.
letters.
Okay.
Wizards.
So you, sorry, what were you trying to do? I missed that.
We were searching for anywhere that the hooks might have stuck in before, if there's any hook receptacles.
You look and the stone seems worked, and there does not seem to be any kind of place where the hooks would hook into.
All right.
Perhaps we have to pull the hooks might pull the grate open, and we might actually have to dig the hooks in to keep it open long enough.
I think so. And fucking Kokanee, you're the most fucking tinkery wood make man. So I've
never worked with wood.
Fucking, you get what I'm saying? We're gonna be torched here. Callie, you grab one hook, I'll grab another. We're gonna pull open the thing, and you just go to town making something significant and reverent.
Reverent.
All right.
Reverence.
Yeah.
And do.
Let's do it. Blackwater, activate, and I go and I grab my hook, ready to pull it, and I look at Callie.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. I tug my hook.
Okay, I'll have you two make strength checks.
14.
18.
Okay. Letters, you kind of struggle against it. You feel the chain does come out some ways, but as you're able to take maybe 2 steps before, the weight is so immense, you're struggling to kind of to keep pulling. You get another few steps.
Help!
About 5
Anyone
feet.
not doing anything?
Neppy runs over and just starts yanking.
Okay, make a strength check. Callie, you're able to get a little bit farther. You get about 10 feet, but you can feel like your muscles are just straining under this. You can tell that it is quite heavy.
Just a strength check, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
15.
15. Okay, you're able to help him. You get another. You get about 10 feet. So there's still 10 feet between you two. You can attempt to make another strength check.
We hook them together.
As this is happening, Kokanee, as you're standing by the grate, you see start to lift up, and it's
They're moving up.
It's lifted up about a foot, and you can see the bottom of the portcullis is just lined with kind of jagged, sharp, small spikes.
Look, that.
Great.
Let's hook them together.
Okay, yeah.
We keep yanking.
So you keep pulling.
I'll just be pulling up on the grate.
As you're doing this, another wave of heat rolls through. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw.
Nice.
Oh,
23.
That's better.
Ah, nice.
17.
19.
13.
21.
Okay.
7.
Oh, fucking great.
Spooky, you once again, the heat is really getting to you, and I like being closer to the ground. The air is so stifling. As it rises up, you take another 10 points of fire damage, as it is getting quite a bit hotter.
How bad does Spooky look right now?
Bad.
How's Clack doing? Is he taking this fire damage as well?
Yep, he seems to be holding on. The second time around, he also seems to be kind of hit with a wave. He takes 10 fire damage as well. But he's maintaining. He's he hasn't taken any damage up to this point, so.
It's my boy. Well, let's pull these fucking hooks.
Yeah.
Okay, make a strength check.
I'm
So it's you
helping.
two. So yeah, you can. Do you have proficiency in? Actually, just both of you roll a strength check.
I don't have proficiency.
That's fine.
Neither do I.
Well, your help. It's not a saving throw, so you're just helping. So it's one of you can roll at advantage, or you can both roll.
Your strength's higher than mine, Letters, I guarantee.
And Callie, you can make another strength check. Is anyone helping Callie?
22.
I'll try.
14.
22. 14. That was with advantage. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, Callie, you're able to bring it farther, and you get another about 8 or 9 feet, or no, sorry, no, only about 3 feet farther before you can, like, you are struggling with all your might, and you, like, it does not feel like it's going to go any farther. So you're about 13, 14 feet from the one side. You two get a little bit farther. You get about another 1.5 feet before you're just like, you're both straining under the weight. You're like, you can feel yourself being kind of pulled back by the weight.
It's not going to go any further?
You feel like you may be able to get a little farther, but you're not sure how much farther. You're struggling to maintain this. Kokanee, you can see that like the grade is raised up about another foot.
Kokanee, we need a thing to attach these things.
Can I get under it?
Yeah, you can slide underneath.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide underneath.
You slide out of the chamber.
Run into the other chamber.
We're going to keep trying to yank and keep this thing open.
Okay.
Can I go under as well?
Yep. You kind of skirt under. As that's happening, you kind of hear, like, you feel like another wave of heat. I need everyone to make a Constitution saving throw that's within the chamber. So Yana and Kokanee do not need to.
Okay.
Hey, Em, this dice that you got me?
The purple one?
Yeah, real good shit.
I know it didn't roll good for you the first time, so it's making up for it now.
It is right now. Fuck.
That's a 6.
Guys, my Neppy dice is rolling fucking banging for me tonight. That's 2 natural
Ooh, that's
20s.
a good moon dice.
And I just rolled another
I
natural 20.
Nice.
That's another 19 for me.
19.
7.
7. Okay.
I try to flex my brain. Does that do anything?
No. It does not, unfortunately. So Callie and Letters, you both take 9 points of fire damage. As you can feel, the heat is just like, it's stifling.
Neppy looks very fine.
Nice.
Tieflings are generally quite fine with fire.
Yana and Kokanee, you see now as you get out, you can see what is in fact a forge. As you kind of look back, you can see words above the forge written in a language. Do either of you speak Dwarvish? No. Neither of you recognize the language. You do see to the left of the forge, on the same side as the grate is, there is a large bellows, and it looks to be being worked by what appears to be a large iron golem. It's just kind of pushing down. What would you like to do? As you actually, I'll need the three of you to make strength checks again to see if you can maintain the grate.
If I took damage, would it be at disadvantage?
Yes, it will be. Yeah, because you're struggling to kind of maintain your...
Shut the fuck up. I just rolled another natural 20.
Jeez.
That's great because I rolled a natural 1.
So yeah, you see his Letters kind of stumbles and falls.
Neppy just plants herself and she just
That's a 10.
You just like, Callie, you start to slide backwards.
Oh fuck!
The weight is just like is so painful as the grate kind of and lowers down to about a foot open.
Even with my natural 20, I don't.
You're able to hold the line, but Callie slips quite a bit farther back.
Right.
Okay, so in this forge, it's just like anvil, table, iron golem doing bellows.
Yeah, and you can see there is a set of tools as well, next, like kind of hanging on the wall next to the table. It looks to be a hammer, kind of simple blacksmith's tools, tongs.
If anyone needs any help, direct me where to go.
Follow my voice, follow my voice, follow my voice, follow my voice.
I need help over here. If you could follow my voice.
That's 2 different directions, isn't it?
Go to Callie, go to Callie, go to Callie.
Spooky, you can't translate this, do you?
Callie.
I'm here, over here. Yeah.
Oh, there's no magic.
And also, yeah, it's not working.
No.
I try to find Callie in the room.
Yeah, you make a perception check.
I'm just going to remove any bonuses that I have to perception. I'm just going to do a straight roll because, in fact, it would be a -1. That's a 7.
7. Yeah, you're kind of fumbling around. You can see he's kind of not sure. you watch as Clack kind of walks over and leads Finnan to Callie.
I got you, buddy.
Thanks, Clark.
Thank you, Clark.
Yeah, so you're outside the forge. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go in and start grabbing stuff, I guess. I'm gonna pull you were saying there was like some stock bars.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can see there's kind of iron, a set of like there's 5 iron bars.
Yeah,
They're about 2 feet long.
And
inch thick.
tools. Is there any where to heat metal, other than where my friends are?
That looks to be about it.
Can I look for something to make it stop?
Okay, I'm gonna try to take one of the stock bars and to jam it as the bellows go up.
Okay.
In between, so that when the golem tries to push it again, it gets stuck.
Okay. So as you put it in, you watch the iron golem kind of look over as it slams into the iron bar, and then just as it begins to bend and slide out. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god.
Yana, you will need to as well.
22.
22. Yeah, you managed to kind of deftly kind of move out of the way as the thing twangs and slams across the room. It's now bent like a C5. It ricochets off the back wall and slams into you. And you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh god.
That's not good, guys.
Okay. Plan B. I'm gonna grab the now bent piece of metal,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna see if I can put it under the metal bars of the portcullis.
Okay. There's about a foot distance. I need all of you in the hearth to make a Constitution saving throw as the air ripples through, as you can feel the sparks kind of shoot up again, and as the coals kind of get brighter and brighter.
23, baby.
Nice. Get used to the heat. Okay. 16. Okay.
12.
12. So Finnan, you Clack is okay. Neppy, you just kind of like the air is kind of stinging your eyes as you kind of breathe out, as you can feel the heat is kind of getting to you, but you manage to kind of stay the course. Finnan, however, being
I don't have eyes.
Still stings. Your lungs start to burn,
Yeah.
and as you're standing on the same side as Callie, you don't realize, but you're closer to the embers as you take 11 points of fire damage.
Okay.
As you can feel your back kind of this wave of heat singes up your back. So you run over to jam it in.
Yeah.
Are you still trying to maintain the gate being open?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna start helping
We're-
Callie pull it.
Okay. Have you guys make a strength check?
Is it strength or can we use athletics?
No, this is just a straight
Just strength?
strength check.
1.
20.
Okay, come on.
7.
Amazing. 7. Okay.
18.
Okay, that's
18.
not bad.
Okay. So,
15.
Callie, with Finnan's help, as you feel your muscles just exhausted, Finnan is able to kind of grab it and push you just a bit farther, kind of back to where you were, as the grate kind of raises up. And you two, letters, as you kind of stumble for a second, as you you see Neppy's kind of holding fast, and after that last wave, she's kind of a little bit shocked. She starts to slip, and you instantly kind of grab onto the hook and pull it forward, as she kind of takes a second to compose herself, and you move it back, and you realize you get the chains within about a foot of each other, and they do not seem like they're going to go any farther, as the grate is fully up at the top, is fully raised.
Is there anything else in the room?
Is there anything on the ceiling to hook it on?
Okay.
Doesn't appear to be.
I see that.
kind
I'm
of
gonna
back
grab.
wall.
I'm gonna grab all of the metal bar stock,
Okay.
and I'm gonna run back into the room that we're all in,
Okay.
and I'm gonna toss it in the coals on the side that gets hot, and I'm gonna try to bury it all.
So as you do that, you kind of toss it in. As you try to bury it, you are going to take a bit of damage.
Totally fine.
You take 10 points of fire damage.
Sure.
But you do manage to kind of get them all covered. As you can see.
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, as you can see, the metal's kind of all buried. You can see kind of the ends of them kind of sticking out a bit.
Okay,
Sorry, remind me the distance between the hooks.
It's about a foot.
I have an idea, guys. Link arms back to back. Each person holding a chain links back to back with someone holding the other chain. So we make our own link.
If I see
We'll
what
hold together easier.
Until Kokanee can put chains between the bars, I think that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to bend it so that he can make a chain together.
No, I know, but for the meantime,
Yes,
if we hook
yes.
together, we'll hold faster.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we'll do that.
I'm gonna run back into the other room. Are there any gloves or anything?
There's no gloves.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Whatever.
There are a set of tongs. There's a set of tongs next to the hammer and chisel. Yeah.
Just sticking your hands in coals. No, guys, it's fine.
Okay, how's everybody looking?
Very fine.
Super fine.
Pretty okay.
Not great.
Not bad. I'm fine.
But not on the edge of death. Not yet.
Yana should not come back in this room. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah,
I'm going to.
Spooky, can you grab the
I'm like
tongs?
still lifting like a bar off of me.
Spooky, can you toss me the tongs?
Okay.
And she kind of slides them through, and you manage to grab them. I'll have everyone within the hearth take another Constitution saving throw.
Woofty.
5.
11.
25.
11.
6.
Okay. Sorry, what was yours, Neppy?
22.
22. And Kokanee, what was yours?
25.
25, okay. So Callie, Finnan, and Letters, as well as Clack, you all take 12 points of fire damage, as you can feel this another kind of burst of like ripples through, and you can see the coals are now red hot, and you can see the iron is starting to heat up.
Yeah.
And it looks to be, it's not red hot yet, but it definitely looks like it's starting to kind of like getting that orange sort of light glow.
Neppy looks to Finnan and Callie and Letters. Once Kokanee has this attached, you all need to get into the other room. I will be fine in here, but you all need to get in there. I am resistant to fire, so this will not bother me. I can keep an eye on this. Once we have it together.
I'll have you guys make, you're still holding open the grate? Okay, I'll have you make another strength check. Callie and Finnan, it will be a disadvantage. Letters yours will be.
Would us linking with the other? Would us linking with Letters and Neppy?
I will say
you cancel that disadvantage out.
Yes, because you're helping each other, so it'll just be one of you will make a roll.
Oh, I have. Okay.
So who's making the roll? Like Letters and I both make a check, and then that one of them just makes a check.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, is it just one roll for everyone?
It's just one roll for everyone.
Oh shit.
So whoever.
So it's like one of you, because it would be a disadvantage because you would be helping each other.
Right.
Me.
Sure. And then for you guys, either Letters takes his disadvantage or Neppy doesn't.
19.
Or actually, it would be a straight roll for Letters because you'd be helping him.
Right.
23.
22? Yeah, you're able to maintain it. For the other side?
Letters
That one.
That one. Okay, you slide back quite a bit as the
Love
grate
that.
To explain how I wanted us to link up, it would be like I'd be back to back with Nepentha with like linked, so that whoever's holding one chain is linked with someone holding the other chain. So if the two chains get pulled, there's more like force holding them together.
Right. It's still
yeah.
It essentially can't like it would be an advantage, but it's like it's canceled out. As you're still trying to maintain holding each other as well. Yeah. But as you're kind of like dazed from the fire, it's difficult to kind of get your bearing and keep it all kind of straight. As you slide back, the gate drops quite a bit, and there's about a foot clearance.
Real question: do we need to keep this gate open while he forges?
I'm gonna need to go through after I think the next breath.
He's going to need to
quickly.
bend them over the anvil.
And it's gonna. It's
Oh,
gonna be
the
harder
anvil,
to bring
yeah.
it.
I'm on
Bring
the
it back
fire
out.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go. Fuck.
But I'm waiting till it puffs one more time, I think, on these guys.
Clark, can you act as an anchor?
I can try, dude. What do you need?
Just act as an anchor. Hold us together.
Okay.
Can you rope us together?
I mean, they're pretty far away now, but I can try. I can help one of you guys on either side.
Help them.
Okay.
Kind of walks over.
Hi, Clark.
Hi. Let's do this, Gravel Boys.
Oh, Gravel Boys for life.
As you're kind of waiting, about 6 seconds go by as another kind of blows through the chamber, and now like it is excruciatingly hot now.
Nepentha's just started sweating.
It's brutal. The air is, you're finding it hard, very, very hard to breathe. So everyone make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay,
That's
come
in
on.
the chamber.
Come on, Mama. Come on.
16.
Hey, not bad, not
Can I
bad, not
be-
bad.
Well, they're doing this. Can I be very carefully looking around the room I'm in to see if there's anything else I can help,
Okay.
like investigating?
Make an investigation check.
26.
26.
17.
17.
It's a
17.
day of extremes because that's another nat 20.
So Callie and Letters, you were able to kind of push through it. So what was Callie's? 16? No, sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of Kokanee and Nepentha. You seem to be able to kind of push through it. Kokanee, you've had a bit of respite being outside. You're and back in, and with your resistance to fire, it's making it a little easier. Callie, Letters, and Finnan, you take.
Letters was a
20.
natural 20.
Oh, sorry. Letters, you're fine.
What?
Clack also takes this. So that's 22 points of fire damage. As it is blisteringly hot, and you can see quite a few of the coals are now kind of igniting. Like a third of the chamber is now kind of red hot. But you see the iron looks to be red hot.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the first one and just go to the forge.
Okay. I'll have you guys make strength checks to try to open it.
Further so that he can get
At
through.
disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it'll be a
Letters.
straight roll because you guys are. You both took damage. But you're helping each other, so it would just be a straight roll. Just cancel.
So I'd be linked to Nepentha, and Callie would be linked to Letters.
I think we're too far apart at this point.
Too far apart now.
Because they slid back.
Oh, so then we're not linked to anyone then.
No.
Okay.
And Clack's helping us, right?
I got a 19.
What did you roll? Letters.
I'm gonna actually.
What did you roll, Sean?
So I'm going to wait for you to roll.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Because we're not
1, 2, 3.
metagaming.
No, we're not. Oh, I did good.
Oh, good, because I got an 8.
Oh, great. I got a 19.
Okay, so yeah, you're able to pull it back open.
Fucking dream team.
Towards the middle.
Gravel Boys for life.
Both sides are able to kind of get it to about a foot as the grate fully opens as Kokanee slips through.
I'm gonna start making some rings.
Okay.
And it has
Yes, the investigation check.
16.
You don't see much else within the room. It looks very simple, very utilitarian. It's difficult to kind of see the iron golem takes up quite a bit of space in the wall, so you're not sure, and just seems to be focused on moving the bellows. That's about it.
If I try ritual casting and comprehend languages in here, does it work?
Yeah, you start to cast the spell and it does work. It does take 10 minutes though, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if it, yeah.
Yeah, so you can start the ritual though. So Kokanee, you head out, you're kind of holding the bars. You don't have proficiency with blacksmithing tools though.
No, I do not.
It's totally fine. I will have you.
He's the tinkeriest out of all of us.
Yeah.
I will have you.
God, but also God likes me, so consider that. Take that into your math.
Favorite.
Mommy's
A
favorite.
god likes you.
Hey, God.
Not this one.
Whoa. Okay.
Well,
I
you
like
don't know. Maybe
I
he
don't know
likes me
that.
too.
Maybe he likes you too.
All right.
Kelly
Wait, what
almost.
tool proficiencies did you get from the
Tinkering.
tinkering?
I'm gonna take. I mean, it's the same thing but bigger. I'm going to, with the tongs, lay the bar over the edge of the anvil, and then just grab sort of a kokanee-sized hammer and try to put just like a 90-degree bend into it.
Okay. I will have you make a strength check.
I see Spooky's actually casting a spell and it's working.
Mhm.
I would cast guidance on myself as I come in.
Okay.
Nice.
That will be a 13 plus 2 plus 0.
Okay. So yeah, you manage to kind of bend it around. It takes all of your strength as you're just like your arm is aching as you're just able to hammer it down. You're able to hold it in place with the chisel on the wall, and you kind of like bend it into kind of a very like kind of loose chain link essentially.
Yeah. So I just toss it in the water and then start running for the next one.
Okay. You grab another one. And the whole thing, the iron rod is about 2 feet. So kind of bent in, it is about a foot. Like the chain link itself.
Yeah.
That would work, right?
Yeah. When you got both the hooks together, it's about a foot gap.
Oh, okay. Well, I run with I toss it in the water and then pull it out as quickly as I can and run over and...
Okay, your hands burn.
Yeah, I'm coming. Hot potato, hot potato.
So that's 15 points of fire damage as your hands are just like searing hot.
Sure, yeah.
I will have you guys make the bellows goes again while this is happening, so everybody make a Constitution saving throw.
Come on, baby.
Come on, mama.
I think I spoke too soon about these dice.
I got a natural one.
I got a natural one.
Just bump it.
Oh, elbows.
Elbows.
I am rolling so hot tonight. This is delightful. My Constitution save was a 20, not natural.
15.
Okay. So you, so letters, Callie, and Finnan.
Oh
and
boy.
sorry, yours was a natural 19, Nepentha? Or
Natural 18 plus 2.
okay, so 20.
20
Okay, so
natural.
you're okay. You take an additional.
Are you out?
19 points of fire damage.
Not yet.
Clack is looking rough.
Okay.
Me too.
Like,
It's like, oh man, I think I gotta step out pretty soon.
Go through the room. We can make it without you.
Okay.
Go.
I'll have you make a strength check though, to see if you can maintain the gate being opened.
Fuck me.
It rolled on a 20.
Either you guys can make one check between the two of you, just straight, or you can both make checks at disadvantage.
Like on both teams?
Yours wouldn't be at disadvantage, Nepentha.
Okay.
Yeah.
16.
Mine would be a 9.
Okay.
The other roll was a 20, though.
Got a 6.
17.
Okay.
Oh, God bless you, Nepentha.
So you slide back a little bit, and it like the chain kind of slides away, and you both get about a foot wider as the grate comes down. So there's about a 2-foot clearance.
How wide is the gap between the chains right now?
It's
The
probably
hooks?
about 2 feet,
Okay.
3 feet maybe,
You
2.5.
only have to get it a little bit closer.
But Kokanee are able to kind of slide underneath. It is a bit of a tight squeeze, and you can feel the kind of like the razor sharp, kind of jagged bottom of the portcullis kind of scrape your back, but it seems to be fine. You can hear a rip in your shirt.
Neppy looks for letters. Letters.
I only have 2 shirts. You have to be nice to the shirts.
Letters. If the grate gets big enough, go. Don't sacrifice yourself in here. You're no use to anybody if you're down. I can manage.
That's a good point. I dive under the grate.
Okay, so you slide out of the
just
chamber.
Whoosh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the chain on the hook that's Neppy's holding onto.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to help her pull it towards the other one.
So once again, the bellows goes. So I'll have you each make a Constitution saving throw. You're still in the chamber.
Come on, Mama.
17.
17.
Nice, 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 nice.
7.
Oh, well, that's probably too low. 15.
13.
13. So yeah, you all take 15 points of fire damage as the heat again is just blistering hot.
Do I take 7? Finn is unconscious?
As you kind of you see Finnan pass out seemingly from the heat. And you can make another strength check to bring it to the center.
Mm-hmm.
You can either, Neppy and Kokanee, you can either make, just one of you makes a check, or you can both make a check at disadvantage.
Is mine at disadvantage?
Yes, yours is.
We've got to get Finnan through. What do we do?
There is still a bit of a gap.
Let's make it at disadvantage.
Okay.
Each. I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay. Both not bad.
8.
Okay. Yeah, you feel yourself kind of sliding and you backslide a little bit as you're struggling to kind of stay focused.
15.
15?
17.
17. Okay, yeah, you guys managed to come back to the center, but you can see Callie is kind of struggling and she's sort of like falling back a little ways.
Oh, can you help Callie? I'll take it.
How high do the chains go into the wall?
They're probably about, they're up in the corner. They're near the top. Kind of
like how high is that?
It's about, chamber's probably about 10 feet high.
Can I try to push my sword like through the chain link at where it's going into the wall on the one that we've gotten halfway?
Okay. Yeah, you kind of run over and you jam your sword through. You can see your sword immediately starts to bend, but it does seem to be holding. You're not sure for how long.
That's fine. I'm going to run over to Callie and help pull.
Okay.
I would love to cast fucking my big ass hand, old Bigby's hand. Do I get that off?
You're outside of the chamber.
I'm out of the fire realm, and I'm in with this kick-ass golem. Do I get the hand?
Yep.
Okay, me and my hand is strong as fuck, are going to try to hold up this grate, make it lighter for the boys on the other side.
Okay. As your hand passes under the grate to try to hold it,
oh no, he knows the trick. He's doing what do you call them? Crimps?
Yeah.
He's staying like
there's nowhere to hold if you're not kind of.
He's getting just these bits on the underneath.
These bits passes, it just dissipates.
Fuck! There's a 5th level for you. All right.
I'm assuming it's been past a minute at this point.
Yes.
Right?
So you'll I'll have you make another Constitution save. Whoever's inside.
Yep.
Is it just been 6 seconds? Is it every minute the bellows goes, or is it every 6 seconds the bellows?
It's every 6 seconds.
Okay.
I'll make a death save.
Yep.
That's 6.
You need new dice. You need new dice. Lauren.
Okay.
24.
It's because I'm using these ones. I got rid of these ones. I need to get.
Did someone pull Finnan out, or is he still in the chamber?
He's still in the chamber.
Only people are just.
Okay.
The con save. Would he fail?
I don't
the death save.
Yeah. So you can see his, like, as his body is kind of like the heat kind of passes over him. He's that's 2 failures.
Wait, 2 from the heat?
No, it would be because you're taking damage.
Only if it's a melee attack. You get
okay, then just 1.
Yeah.
Just 1. Yeah. So yeah, you take 1. Constitution save from Callie, Kokanee, and Nepentha.
That was a
17.
17.
It was a lot. 23.
May I cast another spell?
Yep.
I would like to try to reduce the bellows.
Reduce the bellows. You can try it as an object.
I certainly do.
Yep.
I may earn that fucking Goliath his ire, but I cast it from across the room, 30 feet away.
So yeah, you see the bellows kind of shrink in. It's still attached to the wall, but it is kind of shrunken in.
It's teensy.
It's smaller.
Yeah, 1/8 the air.
Huge, so it's still large. But it does seem less potent as the golem kind of fumbles a bit as it kind of stands back up.
He's still working on it?
Yeah, he seems to be going to push it again. Sorry,
I run over to kick him in the head.
Okay. You cast your spell, so
yeah, you're right.
The next, Callie, what was your Constitution save? Okay, and Nepentha?
17.
And Kokanese, yours was high.
23.
So Callie and Nepentha, you take another 18 points of fire damage.
9 for me.
Okay.
Now I have a question that's important. What order does it happen in? My death saving throw or the Constitution saving throw? Because there is, though minimal, a chance that I could get back up. If the con save goes first, I just die. But if my death save goes first, there is a 5% chance that I don't.
I guess it's like a lair action.
Yeah, it would be a lair action. So we haven't rolled initiative, so I will allow you to. It would be the death save first,
okay,
and then
Ellie would look at you guys and be like, "She does not look good."
Okay.
Callie, just grab Finnan and take him out, please, quickly.
Won't the bellows go down? Won't they go down?
I grab the ring in one hand and I grab the hook that Callie had in the other hand.
Okay.
And I just try to pull them together.
And that means we're just both like.
Yeah. Make strength checks.
All right.
And I try and grab Finnan and pull him under.
Yep, you're able to kind of drag him across.
Natural 20?
18.
Okay.
Go on.
Does Callie get Finnan all the way in?
Yeah, Callie's able to get him out.
Can I heal him as soon as I get under?
Mhm.
I'm gonna
do some dice game there, guys.
17.
17. You are able to get into the center and just hook it onto the other hook as you see it kind of like pull taut. And the gate is open.
Go.
Chain is secure.
Go. We go.
I don't punch the dude in the head.
Do you grab your sword?
No, I just run.
Okay, so you both get out. You slide underneath as you can see the golem kind of moves over and the kind of bellows continues to go as it's open. But you can see as the heat rises, even though it's smaller, it kind of pushes down. You can see the iron side is starting to kind of glow, kind of orange, and sort of it starts to bend back outwards as the metal gets more malleable as the grate is kind of slowly. But
I'm gonna lay on hands, spin in for 30.
Should she and I roll initiative to see which goes off first, though?
You're already out. You made it out.
No, but I'm saying her healing me. My death save, which would happen first, is the question.
It'll be her. She's able to heal you as soon as you get out. Yeah. As you kind of
30.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And you can see as the metal kind of starts to heat up and bend, the sheer weight of these hooks just kind of pulls it apart, and the grate slams shut. And you see as the grate slams shut, the golem kind of stands up and walks backwards, revealing the door between it and the bellows.
Should we take a moment to rest?
Am I healing hands myself?
Everybody
I
looks
believe so.
awful, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
I don't feel so good.
Who is... Coke, and you're quite fine, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm good.
Callie's gonna touch Yana and healing hands you 12 points.
Hold on, I'm going to cast Beacon of Hope.
Nice.
Which does a bunch of things, but it regains maximum healing hit points possible from any healing for everybody within 30 feet.
Well, let me, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast a So we've got Finnan and Callie and Yana and Letters, the 4 of you.
And Clack.
And Clack.
Clack is low.
All right. Who looks? I mean, Finnan was just out. Callie's was almost out. You 3 are. All of you.
I'm
were
probably
almost
doing
out.
better than Letters and Callie because I just got healed for 30.
Okay.
Doing better than me.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to summon the sword back to me.
It does not come to you.
Yeah, that's
And
one
you
way
can
to
hear, and you hear it snap.
Well, that's one way to kill an evil magical sword, I guess.
I mean,
Wait, it was evil?
Well, it was from a pretty shitty dude. I don't think it wasn't conscious or anything, but
Jen, Callie gave Yana the 12.
12, thank you.
I'm gonna cast 4th level Cure Wounds on Letters.
Yes.
Callie and Yana.
so that's
Each of you-
max.
That's max. So that's going to be 48 plus my wisdom modifier. So that's what, 32 plus 5? So 37 to each of you.
That's great.
And I think we should take a short rest. I think we should rest here.
Yeah.
Yep.
We should take a moment.
I look at the golem like, can we crash here?
Golem just is standing kind of still up against the wall. Doesn't seem to be moving.
Yeah, I figured that'd be the case.
Didn't say no.
Are we doing a short rest?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do we want to take a 5-minute little intermish? Snacks or anything?
Yeah.
Guys, online D&D is great. We're sponsored by Zoom. So
I think we should Twitch stream on Tuesday.
I mean,
The reason why I changed my name was that way we can Twitch stream and we can be anonymous.
I changed all of our names on my screen. I don't know if it's...
It is.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did.
Oh, you did, because I did it.
I changed mine.
What does your thing say for me?
Oh, it says...
Ben and Lachlan, Theoman, and
Yeah,
Ulrich.
yeah.
I changed Daddy DM, Nepentha, and Kokanee Buckwild.
Yeah, I changed...
This is a lot of fun.
This is a lot of fun. I'm having a great time.
I want to do something. Give me a second. I'm gonna mute my mic because I don't want that to be crazy.
Is this just going to make our addiction worse?
Yes.
100%.
I mean, guys, now
Any night where we're all at home.
Yeah, we can.
Which
guys,
right now is always.
We could play midweek now, and you guys don't have to come all the way over. We could do like a midweek, like at home one, and a weekend together one.
I love that.
So, as you, so you finish your kind of short rest in the room, which is now kind of quickly cooling down, and a much more bearable temperature. You can see there is a simple wooden door next to between the golem and the bellows, which is now kind of gone back to full size.
A wooden door.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take stock.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like if we're like, oh, Moradin, Dwarvy Hammer lad, probably could have figured out, he likes to make stuff. We're like, who do we have left to do?
Well,
Who's left on the list?
We have of the main pantheon. We have Pelor, Bahamut, and
Okay.
Raven Queen.
Pelor, god of light.
The Dawn
Bahamut, god of what?
Justice.
So, I'm just gonna throw it out there. It's gonna be Raven Queen last because that's the woman of the hour. With
Also,
reverence.
Ayun.
Who's Ayun and what are they about?
She's the goddess of knowledge.
Not going to be much help there. Sorry.
Okay.
folks.
Can we talk like aesthetic? Like, let's just go down that list. Like Pelor. Okay, he loves light.
Is a bit
What might we
ostentatious.
expect?
Something quite grandiose, and perhaps something having to do with light. And he is considered one of the. If there was a patron god of the sun, it would be him.
How's he? Is he like? What? Here's my question. What pleases Palor? What pleases Bahamut? And what pleases Ayun?
Well, Pelor would, he would like duty, obedience, people who stand for lawfulness and the light, and carrying and bringing the goodness forth in a very lawful way. Bahamut would be on the side of justice, and on the side of the moral right, or the what feels. If there is something that follows the law, that would be more Bahamut, I believe, and then Pelor would probably be more the moral right.
Okay.
Bahamut is the platinum dragon, and one of the one of the more lawful, good deities in the pantheon. Ayun would be
Can I just
Yes.
we walk into a place that's super bright, and I assume white and gold. We're Paler Town.
Potentially also red with the Dawnfather.
That's great. That's great. See, this is what we need to know, so we can instantly know who it is. If we see platinum and dragon motifs,
Also, a royal blue would also be the Bahamut potentially.
Okay, blue for Bahamut, red
and silver, but platinum.
Right. All right. Keep rolling on to Ayun.
Ayun would be the pursuit of knowledge above all things, knowing, cunning, understanding, a library. I could not imagine a better sense of something than Ayun, than a library. So you two will be quite at home in there, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, if it's not like a place where the libraries read you and then kill you.
I don't know. They might. And then
because it seems like all these rooms want to kill us.
I don't think they want to kill us. I think they are.
I think they do. That squish room wanted to squish us.
I think they are
pretty good.
That burn room,
I'm pretty sure they want to kill me specifically.
I've almost drowned and I've almost been hurt.
I think they are. I think they are tests of some kind to weed out the unworthy by whoever built this place.
Tests of how long you can live.
Perhaps. We may have been the only people to ever take this test. We may have not be the only people to ever take this test, but we may be the only people to have ever made it this far. I have no way to be sure.
All right. Ayun, books, and are they what, purple or green or?
I would say like a purpley blue.
Oh, I fired that one from the hip. I just came out with purple. There you go. Trust your instincts. Okay. Anybody got anything they want to do before we go through this door?
Do we think the door is going to disappear behind us again?
100%.
For sure. Taking stock, for people, how's everybody doing? Are we missing anything? Any weaknesses anyone's got?
I'm healthy. I'm just burning through spell slots. I got a few left, but
And did I finish translating?
Yeah, you would have finished comprehend languages, and it said over the forge. It said, "We are only as strong as our weakest link." And Finnan, when you went outside and looked up at it, you vaguely were able to kind of piece that together as she was kind of finishing up her spell. By the time you kind of came to consciousness and looked over, you were able to read it. You can read Dwarvish now. And you're not exactly sure why.
Guys, why didn't we just read this? It says we're only weak as our something chain link, I forgot what he said. My brain is bad.
We're only as strong as our weakest link.
We're only as strong as our weakest link. That was a good clue, huh?
It's Dwarvish, Finnan.
No, it's common.
It's not.
No.
I think you'll find it's common. I can speak 2 languages. Common, Celestial, that's common. Or maybe it's Celestial.
No, it's Celestial.
I speak.
That's not common, is it?
No.
No. You know how I have randomly picked up multiple languages?
I try to say yes in Dwarvish.
You don't know how to speak Dwarvish. You're
Scarf. No, that doesn't sound right.
Scarf?
No, I was trying to say
sounds-
yes in Dwarvish, but
I believe
I don't
you.
think I speak Dwarvish. I think I
Hey.
can read Dwarvish now, though.
Finnan,
Aye.
how do you feel about just like ale or like?
I mean, you know me letters. I love a good ale, but
What do you feel about? What's your favorite mineral? Do you have a favorite mineral? You got strong feelings on minerals?
5
All
minerals
of your
come to
weapons
mind
have really
immediately.
complicated names now.
I mean, granite is not a mineral; it's a rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of iron, quartz.
Do you have a favorite style to braid for like a beard to be braided?
I've always wanted a beard, but you know, I'm 18.
But do you have a favorite? Do you have any strong opinions on beard length and braiding?
I touch my face. Is it stubble?
No, it's as smooth as it usually is.
Oh.
Did we know what race those chunks of stuff that we put into Finnan's head when he got cracked open were?
Nope.
Because you might have dwarf brain in there.
That was somehow activated when we came in this room.
No,
I mean,
I just
Martin,
don't think we've
Martin
come
is the
across.
god of dwarves, isn't he?
He is, yes.
So I guess Finnan, I think this makes.
I did start drinking quite a bit more after I left the Barn Witch.
Finnan, I guess this makes you a half dwarf now.
I'm a half dwarf.
Finnan, do you shave?
No,
His skin is still smooth as ever.
I don't shave. I'd love a beard though, but it's not in the cards.
Maybe now.
18 years, it's not enough to grow a beard.
Maybe now. Maybe you
I
will
think
notice
really
more
hard
so.
about a beard.
It's still pretty smooth. It's pretty
What if we go
baby-faced. Maybe
back
you
to
got a
the
little-
water
minor
room?
illusion of
No.
minor illusion of beard.
It looks good.
If it still feels smooth though. Dang it! I don't have a beard.
Fresh. Okay, through the door?
To the door.
Perhaps we examine the door first before
Onward.
we go anywhere.
Wait. How long has it been since we've made turn? And did it drop?
Yes, it dropped as soon as you landed in that chamber.
Oh,
So it's gone.
Mage armor.
Yana,
Yeah.
you minx. There we go.
And your Hero's Feast would have dropped as well.
No!
The effects of Hero Feast would have gone
God
as well.
damn it.
Well,
I can actually
Back down
hear
to
Adam
69.
through the wall.
onward.
So you see the door,
Who's going first?
kind of an oak door, banded with
I'll
iron.
go first. Oh, you go.
I'll go first.
Oh,
I
fun. All right, you
Kelly
guys
goes
go
first.
first.
You kind of grab the handle and it opens with ease. You kind of pull the door open.
Nice.
You can see there seems to be quite a distance. You can make out it is kind of there's like a kind of like a you can make out what looks like almost a tree, and it looks fairly bright, like daylight.
This is
Seeming
Paylor.
awfully pale-y.
Taylor.
Just a tree? A bright
Yeah,
tree?
It's pretty far in the distance. It's hard to kind of fully make out.
So,
What else
so
is
like
in the
in a
room?
field? Or
You can make a perception check.
yeah, 19.
It looks like it looks like it's
22.
yeah, it looks like it's in some grass. It's like it's again, it looks like difficult to tell. There looks like there's something behind it, but it does
Where
sort
are
Tim-
we?
you're just standing at the door. You
Tim,
haven't
does
gone
it
through
look like the
we're
willow
looking
tree
through the door.
that was above ground?
It does. It does look similar, yeah.
There's been something I've been. You mean
But
you
it,
did?
it looks it has leaves and things like that. It looks alive.
There's been something I've been meaning to. I've been mulling it over for the last little while, and I think my thoughts have finally come together about it. I think I know what that tree is.
No?
I think it's called Thalbask, or at least it was. It's no longer Thalbask. It is the tree of life, or at least was. That one is dead. which is why the root system underground was so proliferated. And when we went up to the carving of the mask of the Raven Queen, we went inside and the tree was upside down. There are 2 trees that hold up the planes of existence. Imagine them like this. That tree, Thalbask, holds the upper planes. Holds the lower planes in check. Gloom Faran, the tree on the bottom, holds the upper planes in check. If one of those trees was destroyed, we might not have any sense of what would happen, but my sense is that the divide between the planes would become thinner, would become potentially more permeable, more porous.
Are we the upper planes or the lower planes?
We are the material plane.
So we're in the middle.
Essentially. Well, perhaps. There are very few diagrams of what the planes look like, and planar travel is not, it's never something I'd experienced before with Blackwater. And very few people do it, except for very high-powered mages and wizards or people with the talisman that's around Callie's neck. But the tree that was in the eye of the Raven Queen, my sense upside down, that was Gloom Theran, which is why darkness worked on it. But the tree of life is dead. So, and if the planes are not falling apart, then the tree must be planted somewhere else. I have no idea where, but it was planted here at one point, in the patron city of the Raven Queen. And Gloom Theran must also be under her protection somehow, but I know not where. So, if that tree, the one in the down the hall there, or whatever this expanse is a depiction of the tree of life, that might be something to keep in mind. I'm not sure what that means, but that tree looks quite alive. That tree looks quite blooming. So, if this is Pelor, if this is his space, I would suggest we have light in this room rather than keep ourselves in the dark. There is no hiding in here from the Dawnfather.
Okay. Anybody can cast light?
Light.
He
has light, and it seems to, like, you kind of hold it up, but it doesn't seem to illuminate any of the path ahead of you. It still seems kind of pitch black almost. Yeah.
We have to find our path towards it, perhaps.
So how much distance is between us and this tree?
It's difficult to tell. It looks quite small. It looks quite far away.
I'm going to just try for shits and gigs, some of the fire in my hand. How much light does that spread?
A little bit, but it doesn't illuminate anything. It just seems to be almost like kind of void space.
I've got a forgery kit. Wait, so it's like darkness, and then there's like...
Yeah, it's like there's like a
silhouette of a tree.
Light at the end of the tunnel, kind of.
Can I see anybody around us?
No,
Can I?
Doesn't
we're just in dark. Finnan,
you haven't gone through the threshold, but
Finnan, what's your
over
take?
the threshold?
Looking in there? No, not yet.
Okay.
Step through the door, or
have you stepped through the door?
No, I haven't, not yet.
No one has.
Have a look in. What do I see?
Did you put your head through?
No.
Okay. You look in, it just is void. Like it just, you don't see anything.
We're all so gun shy.
I feel like if Kelly
we all
opened the door, she would have walked
like
in.
Twice.
Yeah, I put my head through.
I feel like
so as you step through, you feel yourself being kind of pulled forward, and you see them kind of like, and
fuck me.
You can see their like at the end of the tunnel. You two find yourself on
fun. I do it too.
Yeah, we all
you
go.
all kind of You all walk through. You all kind of walk through, and as you step through the doorway behind you, you can hear kind of and seals, and you find yourself in a very familiar courtyard. You can see you are on a stone kind of slab, and in front of you, maybe about 5 feet. The whole slab is probably about kind of 10 by 10-ish, but it comes to kind of like it's kind of a semicircle with small kind of triangular kind of slabs that kind of stick out from it. And in the center is what appears to be a sundial. But you can see behind you the doors that you came through are now shut, and you can see kind of faint arcane runes kind of glow. But you see behind it is the temple that you saw to the Raven Queen in the courtyard of Manta, where you first found this. And the tree in front of you is, in fact, what appears to be the willow tree of Thalbask. And you can see ahead of you the black walls of Manta. And as you kind of step forward, you can see kind of on either side of this platform look to be two figures in black robes, both kind of like beautifully woven, and like you can see kind of raven feathers woven into them on either side, kind of just off of the platform, maybe 3 feet on either side. You can see these kind of black robed figures, and in the center of the platform you are standing on is a sundial, and where the sun is at in the sky, it's kind of directly pointed ahead. It seems to be about kind of noon.
Two figures, sundial, noon, tree.
Black cloaks, raven feathers. So
did we skip Paylor and the rest and go straight to the Raven Queen?
No, I think this is still Paylor. But
Sundial is super Paylor. Yeah, we heard you. Len.
No, Callie says hello.
Oh.
To the figures.
They just seem to move.
Howdy.
I would love to take a quick look for any writing of any kind, including the sky.
Okay. So you're just taking a look around? Like, are you just kind of looking from where you are?
How far are we away from these folk?
They're about 3 feet off either side.
Are they like frozen in time?
Make a perception check.
I want a wizard watch.
21.
They don't seem to be moving at all. They seem stock still, and you can see that the leaves on the tree also are stock still.
Tim, I'm going to go over to the sundial.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go over to one of the cloaked figures, maybe the one on the left.
Okay, so you step off the platform, and immediately as your foot kind of comes off of the platform, you feel this like searing pain. You take...
That's a lot of dice.
Take 17 points of radiant damage.
Oh, radiant. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Good to know. And Nepentha's.
As you feel this kind of energy kind of radiate off of this platform, was almost as if there's like a wall, and you can feel yourself. You can as you kind of recoil back, or do you continue moving forward?
I recoil back.
Okay, so yeah, as you recoil back, you can feel there is like a burning, almost you can feel you see some of the ends of your your armor and stuff like that is kind of like disintegrated away.
We should not leave the platform. We should stay here for now.
Without leaving the platform, I want a wizard watch for stuff that eludes the eye. It's going to be a 23 for the kid, and Hey, Finnan, are your goggles sunglasses at all?
Not really. They just help me see.
I want to look into the sun for a brief bit. Not enough to make me blind, but when I'm looking around, I don't want to not stare into the sun.
Why didn't you let me do it? Because I'm already blind.
Yeah, you stare into the sun. I'll look everywhere else.
I'm going to look at the sun.
Okay. You look at the sun. It is like looking at the sun. There's kind of like it's hard to keep your eyes open, and you get kind of that like, what's it called? That like halo of, sunspot. It's very bright. You don't, doesn't seem to like trigger anything.
It's proper bright, but other than that, there's nothing.
Okay, great. I'll look everywhere else.
I think we're just supposed to observe, perhaps, or maybe this is a clock. Maybe we're supposed to watch what happens over time.
I think it's possible that if we find a way to move the like where the shadow falls on the clock, we'll see time progress at different times.
Very smart.
Did I spot anything?
With your perception check, you don't seem to see anything. You can see like the kind of faint rune, like arcane runes on the door, which is quite a bit larger than when you came through initially. Like it's like a large double door, but you can see kind of the Raven Queen iconography as well, kind of chiseled into the stone door. But you don't seem to notice anything else. You can actually, with your, what was it,
23.
You see under one of the figures, the figure on the left. Yeah,
That's
the left.
one that Neppy walked toward.
You can see there is like what looks like a small just like the end of a tail, just kind of peeking out from under its cloak, just to its side. Like it doesn't look like its tail, but it looks like there is maybe a small creature.
What is the nature of the tail? Mammalian? Lizard?
It looks feline.
This is you.
Feline?
There's a cat.
Like that one? What color is the tail?
It looks to be black. If that's why you didn't like it, as he points it out, you just didn't notice it because it blends in with the robe quite well.
Like, does it look like a like humanoid sized person with a long cat tail, or a small cat walking there?
It looks like a small creature next to it.
Okay, I walk over to. Well, I guess I'm already standing there at that side because I was there at the left hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any like further vantage point that I can take a peek, and we can't see in their faces, right?
You could go to the front of the stone slab that you're on. You could maybe.
Is it the same, like in essence, the same stone slab that Neppy prayed on to get into the tomb?
No.
Oh.
It's like a semicircle with kind of triangular slabs coming off of it.
Right. So Neppy's gonna walk gingerly forward as further as she can, not stepping off the slab at all.
You get to the front and you can see, you can just kind of make out the edges of their face. You see the two figures look to be humanoid. Both have kind of strong, like somewhat like higher cheekbones. You can see they both have quite dark hair. They look somewhat similar. They don't look identical, but they do look like they may be related.
Can I discern gender?
They both look female, and you can tell, like getting out of the front, you can kind of tell the shape of their body. They both look female. Kind of long black hair.
Do they both look like, are we talking mother, daughter, sisters, aunts?
They look closer in age. One doesn't look visibly much older. One looks somewhat younger. But the one on the one you were looking at initially with the cattail does look younger than the other. But you do notice that their eyes are like you can just see, kind of make out one of their eyes on each of them. They both seem to kind of have like a very bright kind of amber.
Like mine?
Similar, yeah.
Here's a question. So there's been times when Neppy's prayed where, like, if she's communing, the like image of a black cat would come around. Like,
you can't make out the cat. You like it's,
I can't see the cat.
You can't see the cat from where you're at. It seems to be somewhat hidden under her cloak. You're just able to see kind of the back little bit of tail.
Here's a question. Because I've met my goddess, but I didn't meet her. She was in a cat form. Right. Okay. Like almost in essence like a tabaxi, but
Somewhat, yeah, but yes and no.
okay. Okay. And these
You've
are
met
both
tabaxi before. It was somewhat different.
okay.
And
Okay.
these both appear to be humanoid.
Humanoid. Okay. No horns? Are they tiefling?
Not that you can tell, but their hoods are up at the moment, so you can't.
Okay. But both eyes basically the amber.
Yeah.
The same color as mine. Okay.
Mhm.
Do I notice any, hoods, raven feathers? Do I notice any holy symbols or?
Yeah, you can see raven feathers woven into their cloaks. And now that you're kind of seeing at the front, you can see the one on the right seems to have like a token of the Raven Queen, like a kind of amulet with a raven skull kind of around her neck.
Okay.
And you can see wrapped around the other's arm on the left, you can see she has a similar amulet, but it's kind of wrapped around her kind of dangling by her wrist. And
the one on the right looks older?
Yeah.
And the one on the left looks younger?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think Nebby looks back to the group. I think these are priestesses of the Raven Queen. I'm not sure what we're looking at, but if this tree was alive, and whatever happened here in Manta happened, we're assuming, in the Dawn War, this image we're looking at is at least 2,500 years old. Well, 2,300. It's very old. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at.
I liked the move the hour, the sundial idea, move sundial, move time.
Yes.
Do we want to?
If we can do it slow enough, perhaps we can see the full progression.
I have no idea how to do it at all, but
Agreed.
if we could, it would be very cool.
Lennon, I can't see you at all. Is she there?
I don't think she's there.
Okay. Okay. I was like, did we lose her?
Do we want to cast some sort of darkness obscuring the sun and then create some daylight and see where that gets us? Or would that be irreverent?
Seems fine to me.
I can imagine it would seem quite fine. These beings do not seem to be moving. I think we're watching something.
Well, okay then. I don't have the capacity to do either of those. I'm just an ideas guy here today.
If we're in darkness, the only one who can see is Finnan.
Well, no, what I'm saying is you can cast darkness.
I can.
Because I don't know. You tell me. Like, do you have to be it on you, or can you be like, I want to put it up there?
Oh, I can put it anywhere.
Cool.
Within
then, if we put it between the sundial and the sun, that gives us a nice little, area of darkness. And if we cast light between here and there, I mean, there's the what do you call it? Ambient light, which will give us a little bit of something. But I reckon.
I figure that's a good idea as any. I can create up to 30 feet radius.
Love that. How big's the sundial?
It's not very large. It's probably stands about 4 feet high, and the whole surface is probably about a foot in diameter.
Hey. Yeah.
All right.
Who's gonna cast light?
I can cast light.
We may need to do a daylight spell if we have that, but regular light we could start with. You got daylight?
No.
Yo, Finnan.
Sorry,
you got a daylight? You got a daylight spell in you?
Yeah, I can throw up a daylight.
All right, we're gonna try some. Let's start with regular light because we'll save it. and then see how we go. Right? We like this plan.
I think it's the most controlled way to get us through the.
All right,
Well,
take her
Let's give it
away.
a go.
I'm gonna cast darkness, kind of like so that it's almost like because it's like a radiant, almost dome, right? I'm gonna do it kind of like almost upside down.
Yeah,
But it's
great.
like almost like a little sundial upward.
That's great.
Like a dish.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, you were able to kind of dim the platform. The ambient light does kind of come around, but it is noticeably darker where the platform is. So you cast it. Who's casting light?
Or are we doing daylight?
Let's try just light for now.
I can cast light then.
Okay. So do you cast it like on something so you're able to kind of manipulate it, or?
Yeah, maybe on something long so we can estimate like a shadow.
Yeah. Do we have anything
Your
else?
sword? Your sword is long?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can cast it. Yeah, I
Cast it
cast
on
it
your
on the
sword.
sword.
And you see the the kind of familiar spot kind of comes up on the center. So you're at 12 o'clock. How do you want to move it?
Let's go backward first. If we started, I would like to see the full progression, if we can, from start to finish. I'm very curious what the time will allow us to see.
Do you kind of move backwards from midnight to 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you do that, you notice that like it jumps somewhat as you find, like as you're moving towards 11, you see there is darkness, and the land is barren, and the tree seems to have engulfed something. It seems like you just like, it's as if you skip to the end.
Oh, then forward.
And go forward, back forward, then forward.
So as you slowly move it back forward, you see these two figures. And as you move it forward, they begin to walk forward. And they get about 4 or 5 steps before you see like a massive explosion as the walls on either side. One side, a crash of water slams through on, it would be your left-hand side. As you see a massive kind of amorphous water elemental kind of rise up and like put its hand over the side of the wall. You can see soldiers wearing ornate black armor being hurled through the air. On the right-hand side, you see a massive, like 2 massive claws as this two-headed dragon comes over the top with both red and gold scales. You can see flames like licking across it as just flows across, and you see again a number of soldiers near the edge of the wall just incinerated. The 2 priestesses move forward. You can see the one on the right comes forward towards the tree and falls prostrate. As you can hear, you now like are hit with this sensory wave of
Same prayer position as me.
Not quite similar, but not exactly the same.
Okay.
As you can hear this sort of like chanting in a language none of you understand. As you on the left-hand side, like you feel this kind of like the wave of heat. It's faint. It's not as if you were there. It's kind of like it's almost like an echo. As you kind of feel this wave of heat, and like as if you're sort of like the kind of splash of water. And you can see the one on the left, the small black cat now slips out and leaps forward and becomes a large panther, bounding towards the one of the like as the dragon kind of comes over. You can see it bounding towards it. The priestess on the left kind of draws her hands up eloquently through the air as the water elemental is coming over. She like this massive concussive blast emanates out towards the water elemental, kind of knocking it back. This like lingering dark gray energy like pounds upon the water elemental. And you can see the priestess on the right now as you continue to move it forward on the sundial. on the right begins to draw blood from her hands, and she makes kind of an elaborate pattern on the dirt. You can see the large raven skull that's kind of dangling between her arms begin to sort of pulse with this black energy as she as the priestess on the left is kind of moving forward. A massive claw comes down from the dragon, which is now moved into the courtyard. You can see the flames licking up the side of the tree. You see as it's coming down, the panther kind of leaps out of the air and grabs onto the claw. Yep.
Could you Nappy, you've
Yes.
always said that Nepentha, she was immortal once.
She was.
Could that be her? I point to the priestess with the cat.
It might be.
You can see now her head is kind of uncovered as her hood has been blown back, and you can see this long black hair kind of waving back as she is kind of pushing this concussive blast as she kind of guards herself up as the panther kind of leaps onto the claw and slams it into the ground, and then gets tossed across, slams into the tree. You see as the dragon now begins to approach the water elemental, kind of taking this opportunity where this priestess is distracted, kind of pushes around and slams a wave of water, kind of slams into the priestess, and she kind of falls down. You see the now prostrate priestess kind of her hands kind of shoot up as this long black energy beam appears right down into the center of the courtyard.
Right.
You see the whole battlefield is there is a moment of complete blackness.
Can I see the priestess's face with the cat?
Yes, you can make out you can make out her face now.
Is it her?
You believe so, yeah. It looks like...
Neppy just falls to her knees. Neppy just falls to her knees and is she's just weeping. She's just weeping.
You can see out of this beam of blackness as it kind of the darkness kind of dissipates somewhat, as you can see the whole battlefield is now dim. The sun is has been visibly dimmed, as you see a somewhat smallish figure kind of rise up, kind of now floating. And you can see all of the flames completely extinguished on the battlefield, as the dragon has kind of reared back, and even the flames in its mouth have kind of waned somewhat and are quite small. As you see this figure kind of now floating, large raven-like wings extend out from what looked like kind of a black cloak, just whoosh, and a flash of dark metal shoots out across, and you can see blood spray from the two-headed dragon as it slams back into the wall, struggling to move. It's trying to claw its way back over. You can see her as the figure kind of turns, you see the edges of a white mask, and visible in her hands is kind of outstretched. A dark cloud appears above the water elemental, and suddenly thousands of raven-like spirits dive through the air, striking into the elemental, causing its form to completely shudder and disintegrate. As hundreds of encroaching elementals you can now see that have begun climbing over the walls begin to just immediately retreat, some of them being attacked by these raven-like spirits. The figure...
Is the visage similar to the Raven Queen when I communed with her?
It is. You see as she lands, you get a better look. It seems like the enemies are retreating. There is kind of a moment of respite as you see her kind of land, and the wings now fold back into a long, beautiful cloak as she walks over to the priestess that had fallen, struck by the water elemental. You see she's kind of lying there.
That's the elder one, right?
No, the younger one.
The
that
younger
was knocked
one.
down. The one
Right.
that's prostrate is now standing.
Right.
As you see, she steps over, extends her hand forward, grabbing the priestess to pick her up. You see as this happens, the other priestess is moving towards the black figure, and suddenly you can see from under her cloak, you see a long hooked black blade covered with yellow runes and like what appears to be kind of like a slick kind of green substance. As she draws it up, you can see just as the Raven Queen is extending her hand down to the fallen priestess, this flash of yellow as it plunges deep into the back of the Raven Queen. You watch as this moment where the mask begins to crack and you can see this divine, brilliant light begin to spill out of the whole figure before you. You can see there's kind of like a pulse as like her whole figure and avatar begins to kind of pulse and crack, and you can see she kind of, there's a moment where she stumbles and falls to her knees. You hear a cry from the fallen priestess as she cries out, "Isilla, no!" She runs over. She stands up to grab the queen, the Raven Queen, who's now fallen, as the other priestess begins to move in towards her with the dagger. You see a flash of black as the large panther dives upon the priestess, like grappling with her to the ground. As they both kind of fall prostrate, you can see the panther's jaws around her neck on the ground, blood pouring out. As you can see, the dagger is also plunged into the panther. You can see the fallen priestess now holding the dying Raven Queen as she falls and brings her over to the tree, the willow tree, clutching her chest, blood pouring from the eye holes in the mask. The radiant energy is visibly burning the priestess as she kneels in front of the Raven Queen. She apologizes as her hands come up, tracing some kind of pattern. She kind of brings it up and around and down, almost like a keyhole, channeling divine magic as it's seeping out of the Raven Queen. You can see she brings from this keyhole, a large rift appears in front of her. She begins to push this unstable rift towards the now like pulsing Raven Queen, as the divine energy you can see is burning the landscape around it. As she's pushing this massive black rift, you can see the like energy spilling out from this rift is just immediately sucking all of the light from the surrounding area. You can see it's just like this void of pure black begins to envelop the Raven Queen as the energy is kind of cracking out, and like there is this moment where she pushes it over, and just as she's almost fully engulfed, there is this explosion that radiates across the entire plane, evaporating almost everything instantaneously. You see the tree begin to to petrify. You see the grass is just, the color is frozen. Everything goes this kind of black gray. And you can see the panther and the other princess are just instantly evaporated. You can see what's left of them is just bone as the fissure kind of closes around the Raven Queen. You can see in the remnants of this flash, there is a kind of cocoon around the fallen priestess. The tree itself seemed to envelop her with its final act.
The tree took Nepentha.
It seems to have covered her over.
Neppy's just weeping. Like Neppy is... Like you've seen Neppy cry before, but she's just sobbing.
And you can see next to this now kind of cocoon, this solid wood cocoon, a white mask lies there, cracked and broken. And that gets you back to where you started.
Nepentha sent her to the negative energy plane, I think. That's what the Black Void was, and that's why there was a Nightwalker when we got here. That was a lot to take in. Neppy, are you okay?
I don't know.
At least now we know that it wasn't Nepentha that betrayed her.
No, it wasn't.
Silver lining.
I don't think there's a silver lining in any of this.
Is this something we need to get past, or is this why we're here?
I think this is why we're here. This is the tomb of the Raven Queen. An archive.
Who is the other priestess? Do we know about her?
Scylla?
Silas.
Silas.
By all, from what she looks the same as Nepentha, an older sister, perhaps.
She looks similar. Yeah, she looks similar. Okay.
Related.
But we that name doesn't ring a bell. We don't know. Scylla.
Neppy would never have heard that name, right? That's nowhere in the literature, anything. There is nothing in our stories.
Is there anything that talks of her mortal life?
No. The first tellings of Nepentha are from her first high priestess, Yoravine. Yoravine was called to Temple Philenis in the middle of the desert after being not even a priestess, a young girl who got called for more. She helped seek out and crush a rebellion of the Chained Oblivion.
I mean, speaking of the Chained Oblivion, I think we all sort of clocked that dagger was spooky and yellow.
Callie, could you turn that back to the latest time? 11 o'clock, please.
Kind of wind it back. You see the cocoon, the broken mask.
How far is that tree from us? How far is the mask?
The mask and the tree are probably about 20 feet away.
We can't step off the platform.
I could get that mask to us, but it might be deeply irreverent.
I can send something over there as well.
That's probably a better way to do it.
If you can make it fly, I can send the cat.
Do we want to touch anything here?
No, I don't think we're supposed to touch anything. I think
what are we doing here? I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
I figured there'd be like a chest or something. I don't know what to do with this information we've just received.
Should we send the cat over to get a closer look?
Can we just wait a minute?
Yeah.
I don't think we should make any rash decisions. And to be quite frank, and please pardon my brashness, but this is none of your place. I don't mean to be rude, but when you've had your history, everything you believe in, not necessarily changed but altered, you need a minute, please.
Of course, take your time.
Take your time.
I can't even ask her. This is what she wanted us to see. I don't have the magic for it. I honestly don't think we're supposed to touch anything.
Tim, how is there we're on the platform, everything's void. Is there a way out? Do we just need to step into the void? Is there a void section that looks like the exit door kind of situation?
No.
Or is it all the image?
The image is all around you. It's fully three-dimensional.
Is it like if we were at Science World watching a movie?
Yeah, it's like as if you stepped through the temple doors in that courtyard.
I mean, I worry that if we do it might do the same thing as it did in this playback, and that didn't look like it went well for anyone.
What do you mean, Finn?
When she made that symbol, summoned the big black everything death thing.
did it not?
I don't know. It looked like she kept the Raven Queen safe. Or what was left of her.
Can I roll a brain check to see if there was any correlation that I could have caught between that like pulse of death energy and the energy that big fucking thing gave off?
Sure. Make an Arcana check.
Arcana, that would be a 19.
You're not sure. You don't really know much about the negative plane per se.
Yeah.
But it did seem like the energy kind of radiating out from that rift was somewhat similar to the like kind of aura that creature walked around with. Did seem similar. Yeah.
Did anyone notice? Oh, sorry, Jan. Did anyone notice that the energy that radiated out and petrified everything? It was somewhat similar to the energy that big fella was exuding when he attacked us.
Yeah.
You might be right, Finnan, probably.
It's a thought.
So if we sent the large creature back, wherever it came from, perhaps at the end of this we will find the Raven Queen.
I think we need to figure out how to push on or go back if this is the last place.
It cannot be the last place.
Well, if it's not, then we have to push on.
Yes.
If this is Paylor, what does he want us to do? He wanted
The
to
right
show it to us
thing.
for a reason.
Perhaps
Taylor
right.
wants us to do the right thing, right? I don't know what that is, but that's his shtick. With reverence.
Neppy, if we play it back, I'm loath to ask you this because it could be a risk, but can you try to step into the scene? I would do it myself, but
It might be that we can just step off now that it's played what it's trying to show us.
Now that we've watched it.
Maybe?
again, I can make the cat step off so that none of us plunge to our untimely death.
Well, it'll be sinful.
Should I do that?
Tim, I'd just like to push my hand off the edge of the platform.
You're able to kind of push us out. Seems fine.
Thank you, Kokanee, for going on faith. I appreciate that
Would you like to step off?
very much.
Lead the way.
Neppy extends her hand to Kokanee. Takes it. And then she walks off.
You walk in. You walk into. You're at 11 o'clock, right?
11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You walk into the scene, and it's strange. It is somewhat illusory, but there is these sensations as almost as if you're a step removed from the situation. You can somewhat feel the texture under feet. You can faintly smell this kind of ashy, burnt smell, but it's faint. Everything seems very distant and far away. And you don't leave any tracks. You don't seem to make any marks.
Can I walk up to where the mask of the Raven Queen lies?
Mm-hmm.
I'm right beside her.
Can I pick it up?
You go to pick it up, and it's like your brain is telling you can feel it, but you can't seem to grab it.
Gotcha.
It just doesn't seem to, like, there's something ethereal about it.
Okay.
Can I try something?
Go ahead, Finnan.
I'm going to step out over to the mask and casting silent image so that my hand is like basically creating like a hand that is an illusion over my own hand. I'm going to try to pick up the mask with the illusion hand that is like around my own hand.
You go to do it, and it doesn't seem to meld with the other illusion.
Perhaps this is just a living picture.
Perhaps, but that doesn't answer the question of
how do we
what's
get
our
out?
way out.
Take a look at that cocoon.
What about that or the rift?
Oh yeah, rift's still open?
No, but if we turned back to the time where the rift was open.
Do we want to go where that rift goes?
I have no idea.
I can kind of feel the grass under my feet. I don't know if I want to kind of feel that wave of energy.
I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
Take a look at that cocoon. Maybe you can open it. I don't know.
I look at the cocoon.
You can see, you can make out the figure inside somewhat, as you can see through the cracks, burnt and charred and scarred, but seemingly there is life in the eyes. You can see there is a small bow in the hand, kind of clutched towards the chest.
Like a bough, a piece of
the tree. Yeah.
Oh my god. She has a piece of Thalbask.
That explains why the tree's still alive. Well,
no,
like you said earlier, the thing you explained earlier where you said someone had to replant the tree somewhere. This is it.
If this is Nepentha, Nepi's kneeling down next to her goddess in this cocoon and is just like, there's no limbs or hands or anything exposed. There's just
it's all within the cocoon.
Do we know whose room this is?
Taylor.
Are we sure?
Nope.
No.
It
I
could
said
be
from the-
Ayun.
It could be knowledge.
Could be Ayun.
Could be Ayun. Here to gain knowledge.
Can we pull it back to...
Wait, please.
Of course.
Before we do that. Nepi takes a moment with her goddess. What you did was of the utmost sacrifice. I am so honored to serve you. And I am so honored to have been called. My entire life would have been fine had I just stayed in my temple. Your temple. I am so proud. I am so honored.
You see, as the kind of tears fall from your eyes, you can see, you swear, the expression on the face just changes ever so slightly into just the slightest smile. The eyes remain the same, but you can just, you swear, it's just a hint of a smile.
Rest your grace. You have done enough for now. Rest. And Nepi places a kiss on her hand, and then using her fangs, she just bites her hand a little bit, and then places the blood on top. And then she stands up and like lingers for a sec, and then walks back.
Okay.
I follow.
Do you mind if I just see something, Nepi?
Go ahead.
Can you take us back to where we can see the face of the assassin?
Our sister, Bacillus?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go back.
So,
Callie, you wanna?
Yeah, Callie would look to Neppy first.
Once we're all back on the platform.
Yeah, she'd look to Neppy first before she did anything.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Cal. Thank you.
Callie would.
So it rewinds.
Yep. You rewind to where in the like after she's been attacked by the panther before. When exactly do you want to go to?
Just at any point where we can see the sister's face.
Okay. Yeah.
On the dagger. Neppy would want to see the dagger.
So you go to the moment where she's
Walking.
pulled the dagger out and she's walking towards the Raven Queen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I walk up to her and I look at her face and I take every detail of her face and I look at her and I go, I know your face now. And your crimes will not go unanswered or be forgotten.
Neppy places a hand on Finnan's shoulder as she walks past him, just taking a peek at like the face of her goddess, not entombed, not cocooned, holding the dying Raven Queen.
As you skip forward a bit.
Oh, I thought
she's pulled the dagger out.
She's pulled the dagger out.
And so where's Neppy's head at this point?
She's kind of on the ground, and the Raven Queen is just extending her hand down to grab her.
Okay.
Do we want to take a second and take a look at those runes on that dagger?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to study the dagger while I'm here as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me get involved in that.
You see a curved, like hooked black blade with these kind of yellowish, like they look like arcane runes, but nothing like either of you have ever seen before. They are much more chaotic. They almost look random, like the way that they're etched into the metal. It's bizarre. You're having a really hard time kind of wrapping your head around it.
And it's dripping with poison, you said?
And it seems to it's slick with this sort of greenish liquid that you can see is kind of dripping down. And now as you get a better look, you can see that at the bottom of this dagger, there are chains that then wrap around the arm of the priestess and go into her robes.
Neppy knows about that. That's... would you point that out to Neppy?
I would create an illusion with silent image, so everyone can study it over by the platform.
Go ahead, Jen.
Can we see her pants?
They just look like kind of nice. She's wearing like robes. She doesn't seem to have, like, you can see sort of.
How spooky are her robes is the real question.
Scale of 1 to 10.
Like priestess robes. She doesn't seem to have spooky pants.
There was another priestess in my history who fell in with the chain oblivion. 2 before me. She came back to Philenis and hid her true means and tried to corrupt the temple, and she was murdered in her bed by the Mother Superior and the appointed hand at the time. But when they unclothed her for some form of burial or disposal at that point, there were chains embedded into her arms, like this.
And they knew that she was serving the Chained Oblivion when they murdered her, right?
The Chained Oblivion is peppered through entirely peppered through my order's history.
No, I know, it just seemed like they kind of murdered her in her sleep apropos of nothing, and just it was lucky that she was bad. But I'm assuming that they knew beforehand.
Yes.
Okay.
They sent her out to root out an uprising, what they figured was an uprising of the Chained Oblivion, and she came back, claiming victory, and then started to pervert the order of the temple using strange magics that we were all too familiar with. And then there was a plot to kill her, and it succeeded. And when they disrobed her, they found the chains in her arms. So my sense is Silas, Nepentha's sister, was corrupted. A priestess of the Raven Queen, corrupted by the chain oblivion to kill her goddess. With that,
How many of us can create light? The 3. I can't. Can we create enough light that it doesn't cast a shadow on the sundial?
the darkness will be gone shortly.
How do you mean?
My darkness spell only lasts for 10 minutes.
Right, because we're in darkness.
Well, the sun is being blocked.
When the sun comes back, are we going to get hurt?
We might be.
We should be on the
standing
platform when it comes back.
But why don't we try it while the darkness is still out?
Yeah. Callie would
Cast light.
cast light.
Try to make it so that there's no shadow on the sundial. Just like angle all the different lights in a way.
As you do that, the illusion starts to fade in the room. And you can see, as that happens, you can see there is another plinth on the far side of the room with a small kind of glowing orb. And there looks to be a statue kind of kneeling in front of it.
Neppy turned.
In the real world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks like you're in like a large stone chamber.
Neppy looks to Finnan and everyone. May I?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Neppy just walks forward towards the statue.
Very smart, Finnan.
I'm going to activate my gaze of the 2 minds so that I can see what she sees. And then I yell out, I'm like, I'm looking through your eyes. If you don't want me to, I'll stop.
Neppy doesn't pay him any mind.
Okay.
So as you walk over, you see what looks to be an older priest. Like you can tell the kind of priest robes, and you can see kind of carved at the center is a holy symbol of Pelor, as he's kind of kneeling in a prayer position before the plinth of light. And there's just a small orb.
Neppy takes a moment and kneels down next to the priest, in the same, mimicking his position.
Mm-hmm.
And she leans to him slightly and goes, I know our orders have a slightly contentious history. I know we do not always see eye to eye on the way things are. I appreciate your light in the darkness, though you may never hear me say that again. And I kind of beckon everyone closer before I take the light.
Oh, you go to grab the light?
Not yet, not until everyone's really close.
I'll get over there.
Yeah, I'll get over there.
Okay.
I head over.
Yeah, you're all kind of staying. As you leave the illuminated, so you move the light off, you come back into the illusion. So you find yourself kind of farther on the.
Oh.
As you remove the light from the sundial.
Oh.
Can we not see Neppy anymore?
You can. You're now standing kind of on the far end of the courtyard.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we need to have light on the platform.
You could try
daylight.
Oh, that'll do it.
Okay. You kind of cast it under the darkness, and it kind of lights up. You do know that you probably have about a minute left on your darkness spell.
Neppy just under her breath says in a prayer and infernal, may her grace hold through. And shall we go, everyone?
Quickly.
Hope so.
Yes.
Fast, yeah.
Takes the light.
You go to move the light, it doesn't move.
Turn it.
It's just stationary in place.
Everyone touch it. Everyone touch it.
Touch.
As soon as everyone's touching it, I cast light on it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to move.
Absolutely. Dark. We do need darkness on it. I'm going to. I can't cast darkness again. That's all I have.
I can. I cast darkness on it.
So you've dropped your daylight spell then?
Concentration spells.
Yes, then.
Okay. You like as the daylight kind of fizzles out and the darkness comes. You like
No, daylight isn't a concentration spell.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool.
Oh,
You see the darkness kind of rolls over it, but you do see the light does seem to pierce the magical darkness.
Should we have a think about this back on the platform? I feel like we're running out of time before we all get fried.
No, just cast darkness again.
We can't take this off, but this is the way out. It has to be.
Sorry, Tim, can you describe exactly what this is one more time?
Yeah, so there's a plinth that stands about the same height as the sundial, it's about 4 feet.
What's a plinth?
It's like a
little raised dais.
Yeah, it's like a little raised dais. Look it up on
What's a
Google.
dais?
What's dais?
You guys read a fucking book.
I've never read a book, dude.
It's like a stone. It's like a small stone altar.
Okay.
Okay.
Raised up about.
Got it.
It's like it looks like the sundial, but there's no sundial on top. It's flat, and then floating above it, maybe 6 inches, is just this small little white mote of light. And in front of it, there is a priest kind of kneeling in a prayer position that's sort of familiar. His hands kind of clasped together, kind of like this. And you can see the symbol of Palor in the beaded necklace. The statue looks incredibly lifelike. It's very well carved.
Neppy drops to her knees and mimics the same position. Perhaps we all must worship the light.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, do it.
It's worth a try.
You all kind of do that. Nothing seems to happen.
Neppy swears and infernal.
Sorry, is there any writing around at all? Or is it just the statue, this...
Just seems to be the statue.
Yeah, I see.
And it's hold on, Tim. So it's letting light out?
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's like a little mote of light. It's like kind of a whitish light. And it seems to pierce magical darkness.
Can I put my like finger underneath it so that there's a shadow being put onto this dais?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Kind of pass it underneath.
Doesn't do anything.
Where's the light going?
It's just kind of
Like
emanating outwards.
And this little light is immobile. We cannot move it.
Don't seem to be
And what's the what's the priest look like who's kneeling? Like
he's just like, he looks older, human, kind of bald, and he's got a bit of a beard. He looks kind of stoic in his gaze, kind of furrowed brow, focusing on his prayer.
I feel like I might have missed a detail some way back. Someone said something about if the darkness goes down, we get fried.
Before we stepped off the platform, before we watched the whole thing, there was a disintegrate, essentially like a wall of radiant energy around. But I don't think that's there anymore. I don't think that's up anymore because we've watched the whole thing.
Well,
I don't. I mean, I don't know. This is Emma talking. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
If you wanted to cast that darkness and keep that fucking what do you call it?
I can't cast it again.
But my main man here can or can't.
Yeah. I mean, it might be that we've finished the recording and that we're done, but it also is like it was killing us. We cast darkness, and then we tried again, and it didn't kill us. So.
Because Finny casts darkness again.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay.
And we have
got 10
essentially
more
up
minutes.
to 10 minutes to finish this out, to figure this out. Also, I'm aware too of our time that it's 11:35.
Oh shit! It is.
It is.
It feels like it's not late when you do it in your own home.
No.
Yeah. Can I push on this plinth dais altar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seems to be firmly like it's carved out of the stone that it's sitting upon, so it doesn't seem to move at all.
I'm gonna rustle through my bag, go real deep because it's been a while since I've had to even think about it. I'm gonna find the symbol of Palor my parents would have given me as a kid, and I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna rest it on the dais for a second.
Sits on the dais.
And then I touch the orb.
Just feels kind of like a soft warmth.
Sorry, Relauven. I put it on, and then I touch the orb.
Nothing seems to happen.
All right, I take it off, put it back in my bag.
Palor's who made you blind, right?
Pardon?
Palor is who made Finn and
No,
blind.
it was Palor's
Dave.
Lieutenant Dave.
Oh, right.
His will, he liked to be called. So like
his will.
I think Palor's will. If you, yeah.
Finnan, do you remember any like old? I'm trying to get inside Palor's head. Like this guy's praying up a storm.
I didn't pay a lot of attention. At what would the like equivalent of like church day be in this world again?
It would have like I can't remember the name of Sundays, but
Demalin.
Demalin. I didn't pay a lot of attention during Demalin school. I kind of fobbed off in the back and kind of drew pictures of silly things. I don't know if I am the. That's why I was a little surprised when I thought I was a paladin, because I was like, me, really.
I mean, if this is the way out.
Can I push?
No,
Can I
go
push
ahead.
down on the light, like trying to push it into the dais?
It does not seem to move.
This thing's what, the size of a golf ball, or?
Oh yeah, about that.
I have an idea. We can head back to the platform. I'll let darkness go away. I've got one more left in me. And we just maybe see what happens when the darkness goes away and we're back on the old platform.
Yeah.
I don't hate that idea.
Tell you what, I've got an idea. I have an idea? That is a really good question. Because it could kill us if I try to.
TPK.
How far from the platform to the pillar? Sorry, platform to the like plinth.
Mm-hmm.
How far is that?
It's probably about 35 feet.
35 feet?
It's pretty far.
Not 30 feet?
Nope. 35 feet.
Fuck. Fuck, but if I cast that, I won't be able to cast darkness again. Dick holes.
No, save your spells, Finnan. I can't cast darkness again.
I have a question. Wiggles. If something bad happens to Wiggles, does he just come back?
I have to take about an hour and summon him back, usually.
Because my thinking is, if we leave him on this plinth and we go back to that plinth and I drop darkness...
He's not allowed out here.
No, but I'm saying we see whether or not he's not what?
He can't come out in here.
No. I'm not bringing an undead creature into the Raven Queen's home.
That's a fair point.
She's not gonna like that.
Neither will she.
And we don't really have any other ways of keeping an eye on this platform.
Is there anything else that becomes apparent that we missed now that we're in like remove the illusion site? Like, is there anything else in the space that was not revealed to us that we may have missed? I'd love that. Thank you. 25.
Yes.
You notice two things. First of all,
Wizard Watch.
as you look at the statue, you realize how incredibly lifelike it is. You can see there's a bead of sweat that appears to be carved into the stone, but it like the ripples in the kind of priest robes are like incredibly detailed. It's amazing. Like it's really, really lifelike. You also notice there is another faint glow. You didn't notice this before, but as you back towards the dais, probably about 10 feet, you can see there is a tiny floating keyhole. It's you wouldn't have even clocked it, but you just kind of like, as you're kind of looking around and walking back, you see there is just a tiny faint, and it's sort of outlined with like a kind of like a purplish gold energy. It's very small.
Flank keel and air.
Can I take out the key of the order of the key that Gus gave me?
Mm-hmm.
And can I try that in the lock?
It does fit.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck, dude.
So if this is
That's the one.
No, go ahead, Finn.
Are you?
This is well. There was
What's
multiple...
the headquarters of the library of the people called the
study?
Hidden Order?
The study.
Study?
This is. I don't think
Knowledge?
this is the study, but we might be going to it.
That's what I'm saying. I think the next room of this temple has been being used for a long time without them knowing what it was a part of. That's why it's hard to get to.
Of course.
It's a temple of Ayun.
It's the temple of Ayun.
Yeah.
Within another temple.
Yeah.
I'm very grateful.
Is anyone freaked out why this guy's sweaty?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
weird. That's a weird choice.
Before we do anything, is that dude alive? Can I
Yeah,
medicine check? Is that a human being that got
Would you like me?
petrified?
Would you like
Make
me
a
to?
medicine
Make
check.
a petrified
Can I
check.
help him?
Make him.
I take the key out of the lock.
Tim.
You can roll it at advantage, Kokanee.
Ooh.
Kokanee can do this, I think, first.
21.
Nice.
It looks very similar to when Nepentha was petrified. This man seems like he's in a very similar state.
I can't fix him now.
How do you fix?
Do we want do?
Wait,
Great
I have an
restoration.
Do we guys? Do we hold on? Do we want to fix him?
He's a
Like
priest.
right? I understand.
Not right now, perhaps.
But like, if we're about to go somewhere that we really shouldn't be taking anybody else.
On the way out.
We have to go back through all the
I don't
rooms
know
of
if there
Manta?
will be another way on the way out.
I don't think it will fix him. And if it does, we can just get him to, like, stay here. But can I try something?
The only magic that I know that fixes petrification, like what happened to me back in Felen, is greater restoration. And I am unable to do that now.
Yeah, I have a little thought. I don't know. I don't think it will work.
Go ahead.
I'm going to use my waxing light ability to bend the light of the orb to heal the guy.
Nice.
Okay.
Well done.
So you see as you cast this kind of healing magic, as you bend the light, you see the mode of light just grows just a little bigger.
I dump all 3 remaining waxing lights into it.
Kind of.
Nope, dump 2. Just 2. I'm going to say 1 because that's how we die if I don't say 1.
So yeah, it gets up to about the size of a baseball.
Is it healing magic? I can do that.
Yeah, I think it's healing magic.
Oh, well.
In the light or on him?
Into the light.
I was using the light to try to heal him, but I think it just kind of sucked it up.
This will be more potent than anything that I can just heal him. I'm going to cast life transference on the light.
Okay. That is a necromancy spell.
Yeah.
Oh.
So as you cast that.
Emma.
Sorry.
So
I thought me and Pela were on good terms, guys.
So as you go into your
Like ready to go for it. Yeah.
ready to go for it, you kind of feel the energy kind of pulse out of you. You hear this kind of like as a figure 20 feet behind you appears. You see kind of a floating black figure kind of shrouded in a sort of mist, roughly humanoid shape, a little larger. You can see kind of a hooded a hooded cowl kind of pushes forward as this kind of ethereal creature kind of like raises its hand. And I'm going to have you guys all roll initiative, but that's what we're going to call it tonight.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry, dudes. Sorry, dudes.
Do we
Just
want to
try-
roll initiative next week?
Yeah, we'll roll initiative
Yeah.
next week.
You mean Tuesday?
You mean Tuesday?
Thank you so much for joining us for this Session 0 episode of Blackwater D&D, the stream that really started it all and what prompted us to start putting our game online. We have had so much fun putting everything together for you folks, and we would love if you came and joined us live. We play at twitch.tv/BlackwaterDnD on Mondays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come hang out with us on Instagram too at BlackwaterDnD and on Twitter at the same handle. And of course, now all of our episodes are uploaded to YouTube a couple days after we film them. Look forward to seeing you guys around and hope your day is a natural 20.